Marty Cifuentes and John Eustace there, both managers speaking then ahead of kickoff at Pride Park. The teams are in the tunnel as well as they make their way out now. Both looking to bounce back from less than ideal results last time out, as both lost in their respective championship fixtures. So let's hand you to your commentary team. But just a reminder, it is another busy weekend of live football on the Talksport network. You can tune into Talksport right now for Aston Villa against Arsenal. That getting away shortly too. Here later on, I should say, on Talksport 2, we're bringing you Ipswich against Coventry, which is our 3 o'clock offering. But we take you to Pride Park now, where we join up with the former Wolves keeper Matt Murray and your commentator Joe Shannon.
Thank you, Natalie, and welcome to Pride Park for the first meeting between these two East Midlands clubs in the league since 2014. It's a rivalry of sorts. It goes back to Leicester's playoff final win in 1994 at the old Wembley. But Derby's focus today will be firmly on strengthening their playoff push after an impressive start. 10 years ago this weekend, Leicester were top of the Premier League, but of course this season they're in lower mid-table in the Championship, and there is huge pressure on Marty Cifuentes to turn things around. The Derby team, Zederstrom in goal, Langas, Sanderson and Matt Clark the centre-halves, Ward, Brett and Diaz, Adams, Bobby Clark and Elder in the middle. Salverson and Adjemang are Derby's forward two. And for Leicester, Stolarczyk returns in goal. Ricardo, Nelson, Vestergaard and Thomas at the back. James and Skip holding. Fatawu, D. Cordova-Reid and Mavididi in support of Ayew up front. They're always a hard-working team, Derby County. Under John Eustace, Matt Murray, it'll be a real test for Leicester out there today.
Yeah, you alluded to it before. This is the first East Midlands derby in a good while here. Yeah. And so the fans will be up for that. They'll start well. They'll get after them. Both teams obviously disappointed with their last result, so I think Derby will get after them, outwork them, and that's been my criticism of Leicester. When I've seen them, I think they've been outworked, and that shouldn't happen as a pro. So they should know if they work hard, especially get an early goal, then we'll test the character of these Leicester guys. But I'm expecting a really good atmosphere, slippery surface, slick surface, so Leicester want to move the ball quickly. But yeah, hard game to call.
Well, more than 30,000 here today at Pride Park. It's been raining in the build-up, as Matt was saying, so the pitch in good condition, but it is a slippery surface and grey clouds overhead. We could have plenty of rain as the early afternoon goes on. It is a massive day of football across the Talksport network, with the league leaders Coventry following us at 3 o'clock, away at Ipswich Town, another potential promotion contender. But for now, we have the 109th meeting between Derby County and Leicester City. The Rams against the Foxes. And it is live here and exclusive to national radio on Talksport 2. Derby in the white shirts, black shorts and white socks. And Leicester City all in royal blue. And there's a prolonged Leicester huddle at the moment, with Ricardo, the skipper, emerging first, and the Leicester players are ready to go. It'll be Derby from right to left in the first half. There are Derby fans at both ends of the ground, with Leicester City supporters wedged into the southeast corner. About 3,000 have travelled the short distance from Leicester today, and their team playing from left to right towards the south stand in the first half. And D. Cordova-Reid back to goalkeeper Stolarczyk, and we're off and underway. Another busy Saturday of championship action on your home of the EFL. That is Talksport 2. And Derby get a throw on the far side, back to Dion Sanderson, now into the path of goalkeeper Zederstrom, all in green. This is the bearded Matt Clark, angle ball out to Callum Elder, standing in the left wing back position. 1-2 between him and Bobby Clark, the son of the former Newcastle and Fulham midfielder Lee. Matt Clark hoists it high downfield, and a header away by the giant Yannick Vestergaard in the middle of the Leicester back line. Thomas gets in front of Adjemang to play it back to Vestergaard, and I know, Matt Murray, you're really looking forward to seeing Patrick Adjemang in action today.
I am. Obviously, you can see his big physical presence. He's come over from the MLS, and yeah, he gets in good areas. He'll be trying to maybe pull off on the fullback. You just see him there, the height mismatch. If he can get on and play off Thomas a little bit, but Nelson, I'm sure, will try, or Vestergaard will look to pick him up from set pieces. But yeah, when he's at it, he's a real handful. Yeah, a lot of height and physicality in both sides. 6'4" Vestergaard, long sleeve blue shirt on the halfway line here. We're sat just to the right of the Derby dugout, about 10-15 rows of seats from the edge of the pitch. Here comes Adjemang, Derby's number 7. Hustle and bustle towards the left edge of the penalty area. Adjemang has got support out left. Brereton Diaz, infield to Bobby Clark. Lovely feet, and the shot takes a big deflection. Good block lunging in there by Oliver Skipp. Now it's going to come back to Derby, and Langas, the Norwegian centre-half, further wide to Joe Ward, down by the dead ball line. He can't keep it in play. The pass from Adams was slightly overhit. Goal kick to Leicester, but a bright start from Derby, 0-0. I think a really, really good start. Yeah, he's safe from Derby, because going into the game, it's Leicester who usually have more possession, but to be fair to Derby, they've tried to even build from the back and get it down and play. Then that was some really good play from Adjemang, bringing players into it. Bobby Clark getting forward, good block edge of the box. So yeah, very positive start. Derby's biggest crowd of the league season so far expected here today. Barely an empty seat to be had at Pride Park, which is often the case. Jordan Ayew commits a foul. A late challenge on Adams, and it's a free kick to Derby on the halfway line, right in the centre circle. Derby 0, Leicester 0. Good tackle here in a Derby match. That's what you do, just leave one on someone. Ibu Adams, I think he's a really good player. I used to watch him a lot at Forest Green under my mate Rob Edwards, and he's all action. He's obviously did go to Cardiff and it didn't really work out, but then came here and the fans love him. And yeah, good player. He'll be fine. He's took a few kicks like that in his time. Well, Rob Edwards Wolves in action on the Monday Night Football over on Talksport against Manchester United on Monday evening. We'll have that live and exclusive for you from the Premier League. As always, the best way to be across all of our football is to download the Talksport app. Liverpool's women have an equaliser at Arsenal in the WSL this lunchtime. It is 1-1. That was a midday kickoff. 12:30 start here, and the Leicester fans and the Derby fans, bit of verbal jousting behind that goal. It's what you want to hear, the fan rivalry on a day like this. It's hoisted downfield for Derby by Ward, and that's going to race out of play and a goal kick to Leicester. It's an interesting rivalry, isn't it, Matt? Because it's not the main rivalry of both clubs by any means, but they've had some tasty encounters down the years, and it all goes back to Leicester beating Derby in the playoff final in the First Division in '94. So I was in my teens then, but yeah, you do remember. But good sides, weren't they? And some good players. I imagine the likes of Sturridge and
Steve Walsh.
Yeah, Steve Walsh is going to say that. Yeah, Matt Elliott. Yeah, good games, good battles, but yeah, look, both good teams with big fan bases, up and down in the Premier League. But yeah, it's good rivalry today.
Adams trying to race over the halfway line. He hits an early ball up the inside right. He was having his shirt tugged anyway. Referee is Josh Smith, and he spotted the foul. Adams trying to hare forward into Leicester territory. The ball wasn't going to reach Adjemang, so the referee was right to bring it back. I can see John Eustace on the edge of his technical area, all in that all-black Derby tracksuit, and pointing the way forward. And now Marti Cifuentes emerges from the Leicester dugout for the first time in the game. 2 wins in 9 in the league for Leicester City, and real pressure on Cifuentes as Matt Clark looks to hoist a high ball downfield into the cloudy sky, but that's one bounce and into the gloves of Stolarczyk again. It is Derby who looked the more likely in the early stages, Matt Murray, but still goalless.
Yeah, neither keeper seriously tested, but yeah, they pressed well but could break it. Ooh.
Good interception by Langas, man.
Yeah, and he's done brilliantly, hasn't he, since he's come into the side. Langas reads the game well. It's changed to that back five. But yeah, I think definitely John Eustace will be the happier of the two managers for sure.
You're absolutely right on Sondre Langas. He was injured at the start of the season, came back in October, and so Derby's form is much improved. At one stage earlier in the season, Leicester were 9 points ahead of Derby. Now the Rams have a 2-point advantage. Jordan Ayew, Leicester's number 9, tracking back midway inside his own half, and Fatawu, the player with the red boots on, with the ball back to right back, and caps in Ricardo. Now Leicester look to play the ball out of defence. Vestergaard square to Ricardo again. Took over the captaincy from one Jamie Vardy over the summer. Ben Nelson, the young centre-half, very promising. Back to Stolarczyk, who had missed several weeks with a groin injury before returning to the team today. How difficult is it for a goalkeeper, Matt, to find rhythm after being out for several weeks?
Yeah, it's not easy, but I think you've got to credit Begovic as well, who came into the team at this tough time as well and did well. But yeah, Stolarczyk's a very good goalkeeper.
Experienced Asmir Begovic. The ball is back with Jakub Stolarczyk once again. Broke into the team last season and has kept his place as Leicester's number one when fit. Vestergaard, edge of his own penalty area. Derby trying to press Leicester as Nelson hammers the ball high and long. That's a header away for Dion Sanderson at the heart of the Derby back line. And then Bobby Clark, the diminutive midfielder, hooks it over his head. Well controlled by Adjemang, plucking it out of the air. He was allowed to do so by Nelson. Now it's with Bobby Clark again. Square ball to Adams, and Derby playing some nice football. Sanderson in the centre circle. Square to Matt Clark, who looks up, suddenly drives forward a couple of yards. Was he tripped by Ayew? Yes, he was. Free kick to Derby, and they just rotate, keep possession. Sanderson on the halfway line.
Playing some really nice stuff. When you read your stats beforehand, don't you? And there's been very few games that Derby had more than 50% possession, but they're playing some really... And I'm probably coming in here going to do John Eustace's side a bit of a disservice, because they're popping it about, nice movements. You said it there when that ball went up to Adjemang. How he's allowed to bring it down like that when it's gone that high, that surprised me, but Derby looking good.
Away by Skip for Leicester, up towards Ayew, who is midway inside his own half. He's lost out to Brereton Diaz, but Brereton Diaz then blocks off by Ricardo, and Fatawu surges up the near side, the right on the counter, plays the ball infield and quickly to James. James with a lovely ball, and De Cordova-Reid puts it in the bottom corner from back to front. That's a delightful goal for Leicester City. Wonderfully worked, a couple of impudent flicks in the build-up. The last touch from Jordan James was exquisite, and the finish from De Cordova-Reid unerringly accurate across the goalkeeper into the bottom corner, and just like that, it's Derby 0, Leicester 1.
And that was Premier League quality. The way they did that, and we've questioned them and how much the players want to be here. Well, I think Jordan James has been a brilliant loan signing. He's come in, he wants to be doing it. John Eustace knows that player very well from his time at Birmingham City, but yeah, real quality. But you said it there, the way the ball was laid in to De Cordova-Reid's path, that just said, don't break your stride, have a little look up, pick your spot, do with it what you want, first time finish, and he's gone right, we're right, the angle we are. Zetterstrom is a very good goalkeeper. He stands, he said, go on, beat me. Well, you've picked out the bottom corner, low, hard, greasy surface, fantastic finish. So that great, not great, but a very good start from Derby. Suddenly, could hear a pin drop now, can't you? Just those Leicester fans, but fantastic goal, well worked, back to front, excellent goal, 1-0 to the away side.
Well, as you say, Matt Murray, we were right behind that, and De Cordova-Reid not scored many this season. It's only his second goal of the campaign, but you just knew he was going to put that in the bottom corner, the way that he ran onto it, real confidence in the finish.
Yeah, he timed his run to perfection, but I still think that layoff, because he didn't have to, do you know what I mean? It just was there, sat for him, and he knows that the goalkeeper can't close him. Brilliant quality, excellent goal that was from Leicester City. Back to front, how they built, really good goal.
So 1-0 Leicester lead here live on Talksport 2. Cardiff 1, Huddersfield 0 is the latest score in League One. Cardiff, who are top of the table and having a very good season under the management of Brian Barry Murphy after relegation last year. So Leicester with the advantage with their first serious attack. And what a high quality goal it was. Thomas in the left back position, far side for Leicester, who start the day 5 points off the playoffs. He's charged down by Joe Ward, but it'll deflect out of play for a Leicester throw. And they are absolutely jubilant, those Foxes fans on the far side.
And that's what, look, they've been disappointed. They've had a difficult time, as you said, 10 years ago, they're top of the Premier League, and then the things that have gone on, obviously they enjoyed their promotion under Maresca, but it has been tough for them. But that goal, sometimes Derby will go, could we pick up a set piece? That was quality, wasn't it, undid them?
It certainly was. Derby on the attack at the other end with Salverson nudging it back to Bobby Clark. Sliding challenge by James. Got to the ball, says the referee. Then it's won back by Brereton Diaz for Derby. Angled pass wide to the far side, and Ward in a crossing position just about, taking on Thomas. Whips in the delivery, and it's sliced up into the air by Vestergaard. They aren't convincing defensively so far this season, Leicester. And Adjemang tries a snapshot shot from the angle, and that's turned behind for a Derby corner. I get the sense today, Matt Murray, and I hope this is the case, we're going to have quite an open game here at Pride Park.
Yeah, it feels like that, and especially when there's an early goal. But both teams are set up, to go for it. Derby are good at set pieces, so this will be a good test. We talked about the physicality, big boys on both sides, the delivery, the desire. But yeah, it does feel like an open game, and it's been a really good. I love the Championship. I love watching it.
It's a cracker, isn't it? A cracker of a league, and we have a cracker of a fixture here as part of our festive 50 across the month of December on the Talksport network. 50 live games. Callum Elder will take Derby's corner, hoisted high in, swinging left-footed and headed away, well at the back post. Important touch by James, who's probably been the game's outstanding player so far. Just 11 and a half minutes old this match, and it is Derby 0, Leicester City 1. And De Cordova-Reid with a really well-taken goal after some excellent football in the build-up from Leicester. A rare example of that we've seen this season. Bobby Clark with a cross-come shot for Derby from a very tight angle, and that takes one bounce, and Stolarczyk is right behind it. I don't know if he was actually trying to catch out the goalkeeper there, who was certainly expecting a cross, but either way, Stolarczyk there to clear it away. And then a poor clearance by Zetterstrom, the Derby goalkeeper, sliced right-footed, headed down by Skip into the path of Mavididi, looking to burst through the middle. He's beyond two in Derby white shirts. Then it's poked away by Sanderson, only as far as Ricardo. Leicester 1-0 up. Fatawu on the attack for them, the number 7, taking on Elder, trying to go beyond him on the outside, and Elder stands up to the challenge from the dead ball line, clears it out to play for a Leicester throw. Yeah, really good defending there from Elder, because Fatawu is a good player, isn't he? He's tricky. Yeah. You have to stay on your feet. You don't want to dive in, be on an early booking or anything. But that throwing back to Zetterstrom was strange. Yes, he sliced the clearance, but stitched him up a little bit there. But yeah, good. I just think it's been really, really lively, and both teams very positive. It's been excellent, hasn't it? And really belying Leicester City, their position in the league table at the start of the day. Championship football, just how we like it here on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. You never have to go anywhere else for Championship football. Long throw, Thomas into the penalty area, headed away at the near post by Derby's Matt Clark. More than 30,000 here on what is a mild day with the floodlights on, and 3,000 Leicester fans who are making most of the noise. Watford 0, Norwich 1 in the Championship. Josh Sargent for Norwich, who start the day 4 points from safety, but showing signs of improvement under their new boss, Philippe Clement. Now the ball is out of play for another Leicester throw. Lev with the edge of the 18-yard box. Ricardo goes up the line to Ayew, a couple of yards from the corner flag. Can he win a corner off Sanderson? He has done. He's done brilliantly there in a tangle with two Derby players. And Sanderson, who's been very good since moving to Pride Park. But Ayew, I think, he showed his experience there, didn't he, Matt? Yeah, because he was right in the corner, all the bodies around him. But to win the corner, to actually win that corner was excellent. Yeah, Dion Sanderson's done well. He came through at Wolves, as did Danny Bart. He's back on the bench today, but he scored a really good goal here, didn't he, against Watford? I think he smashed it in from the edge of the box. First goal for Derby, yeah. So, but at the moment now, he's going to have to defend this set play, but excellent play from Ayew. James will take the corner here for Leicester, hands on hips. It's going to be right-footed and out-swinging from the near side at the south end of the stadium. Just under a quarter of an hour played. And Leicester with the advantage. James waits to deliver the corner, pour into the near post, but the first man missed the header, and it's turned in by Skip. Skip from close range has put it into the back of the net. His first goal for Leicester City, and what a dream start this is for the Foxes on a day where the pressure was really on their head coach Martí Cifuentes. Leicester are lifting some of that scrutiny, but Derby's defending was absolutely dreadful, and Skip had a simple finish from just inside the 6-yard box. Derby 0, Leicester 2, and we've only had 15 minutes. And in the build-up, we were saying how clinical Derby were. They were the ones that take all their chances. Literally 2 glimpses of goal, both smashed past the goalkeeper. Zetterstrom stands no chance. And in my opinion, it was actually a poor corner. He didn't seem to catch it right. The way it's sort of gone through, then drops down. And from close range there, Skip, he just swivels, doesn't he? Just fires it in and smashes it inside the post. No chance for the goalkeeper. Derby were really, really disappointed. Leicester absolutely buzzing. And Jordan James, again, when I was reading the stuff, he creates a lot, doesn't he, for this Leicester side? So he's got the one assist. The corner sort of he's involved in. And but yeah, mad. But those fans in the corner, it's amazing what this game does here. They're absolutely loving their afternoon now. Well, it's a landmark moment for Oliver Skip, and Leicester, who have lost 3 of their last 4 away league games, are 2-0 up at Pride Park, would you believe it? Matt Clark here for Derby County, who have a lot of work to do, and it's 2 shots and 2 goals for Leicester today. And as Matt Murray said, talk about clinical. And Derby in a position now, Matt, where really they can't afford to concede a third, otherwise it would be game over even this early.
Exactly that, and the fans have stayed with them. They're not booing or anything because it's just one of those things that have been sort of sucker punched, but they don't have to go and get a goal straight away, okay? They've got to just get that feel back into the game. But yeah, crazy. Long
way still to go. 16 and a half minutes played. Long floated ball by Elder on the diagonal into the penalty area, and it's well taken by Stolarczyk. Eventually at the second attempt just patted the ball down and then picks it up, the Leicester number 1. No clean sheet in their last 12 in the Championship for Leicester, so that will encourage Derby. Leicester do concede goals, but they've scored 2 of them so far today, and a first in royal blue for Oliver Skipp.
Yeah, and that's the thing, they obviously the heart that Derby will get. Yeah, Leicester, I'm sure they conceded. Yeah, they conceded 3 against Sheffield United, 3 against Southampton, but they're ahead now. Can they show that experience, keep the ball a little bit, frustrate these Derby players? Stolarczyk there, though, when he came for that high ball, I don't like him when keepers pat it down in the box. Just catch it clean, you know? You don't take those risks.
Matt Murray, former Wolves keeper, is with us on Talksport 2. Arsenal 1, Liverpool 1. Here's a half-time score in the WSL in the Premier League, by the way. And live right now over on Talksport. It's still Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 0. Arsenal 8 points clear. If they win, Aston Villa will go second with a victory and 3 points behind Arsenal should they win at Villa Park this afternoon. So a game of great importance in the Premier League today. The ball is with Leicester and Vestergaard, who is on the edge of his own penalty area, and Thomas nudges it square and backwards to goalkeeper Stolarczyk. No place for Harry Winks on the bench today. Incidentally, Marty Cifuentes has said that was a technical decision. High ball over the top by Ricardo, too much on it for Fatawu, and through to Zetterstrom.
So should the players, isn't it? The fact you can leave Winks out of the squad.
Out of the squad,
yeah.
Yep.
Surely there's more. Yeah, it just seems crazy, doesn't it? But
well,
maybe, yeah. I wonder
technical decision.
Yeah, I wonder what that means.
And that was all he said, Matt. Those 2 words and nothing else to our colleagues from TVs. So maybe watch this space in terms of January. We'll see. But I tell you what, James and Skipp have dominated the game so far for Leicester. Header infield by Salverson. Good header into the path of Adjemang on rushing. Brought down by Vestergaard rather clumsily. He's going to get a yellow card for that. The big Dane. And a free kick to Derby away in the left wing position.
Yeah, and now he's going to pull on him. You know, Adjemang will just pull on Vestergaard, keep running at him. No complaints there. It is a foul. Put his leg across. Looks like a sore one. Might be a dead leg. He'll be all right all the way through. But when he gets home tonight, if it has caught him in that thigh, those dead legs when you get home, it's like, oh, keepers, you get them. They're horrible later on. But this is a chance now, because I feel that even though the set pieces have been from deeper, the corner was the first contact from Leicester. The other ones, they didn't really get the ball into the box. And Derby are usually good at set pieces. We said how big a squad they are. This is a really, really dangerous position. Test them, put it into that second 6-yard box, and hopefully works Stolarczyk.
A Derby free kick. Derby looking to work her way back into the game. 2-0 down at home to Leicester on Talksport 2, and we haven't yet had 20 minutes. Elder standing over it. Good left foot. Callum Elder. High to the back post with the free kick. Sanderson climbs. Tried to knock it back across goal. And the flag is up on the far side of the field. Maybe Sanderson was in an offside position. There might have been a foul at the back post too. Either way, Leicester have got a free kick.
And that's what... So, look, I gave Leicester a bit of grief coming into this about the work rate, the desire. But at the moment, they've got back into the shape really well. They've played with quality. And then when the ball comes in like that, they've held a really good line, organised. So, offside. As you said there, maybe a foul at the back post. But that's because they've got up with big Dion Sanderson coming over the top. Put the body on the line, take a sore one. So at the moment, Leicester have done what you have to do in a derby match. Show your bits of quality, but work, be organised, be disciplined. And before we were saying Eustace would have been the happier of the 2 managers. Now Cifuentes 2-0 up, but his team executing his game plan. He'll be delighted.
Back-to-back defeats for Leicester City coming into today. But they are very much in command as a smatching of blue sky appears above us here in the East Midlands. Forward come Leicester with Fatawu right in front of his near side, left-footed in, swinging cross into the penalty area. Jordan Ayew couldn't get there, cleared away only as far as Mavididi on the edge of the D. Mavididi has to wriggle away from Bobby Clark. He's gone backwards and away from goal. Here come Leicester again with Thomas. Angled ball to the left, the far side, and D. Cordova-Reid, who got the scoring started. In swinging ball from him into the penalty area, header away by Elder from just in front of the 6-yard line. Then a horribly miscued clearance by Adams, and Leicester back in possession momentarily. Header away by Adams. Vestergaard is there to sweep up the loose ball. All Leicester at the moment. 2-0 up, and the Olays have started from the Leicester fans as they win a free kick midway into Derby territory. Mavadidi's been caught.
He has, and probably just slow it down a little bit here. But what's been impressive with Leicester is when they get forward, the amount of blue shirts that sort of like ring fence in the box. So they've got bodies in there. Derby players slashing a little bit of clearances, but they've just kept it in there, kept them alive. So, kept the attacks alive. And we talked about it being a dangerous position for Derby with their free kick, now for Leicester. And the last two things that have dropped them in the box, they've certainly nailed. So a big moment, 3-0. You think it's going to be all over if they could score now?
It'd be hard to see Derby coming back from that, wouldn't it? Especially with their record against Leicester. They haven't played in the league for over 10 years, the two clubs, but Leicester have won 9 of the last 11 meetings, including that playoff final win at the old Wembley in the mid-90s. Free kick to Leicester away on the left-hand side. Derby with everybody back in white. In by Thomas. His header! 3-0 to Leicester! But the flag is up! And it will not count. And the ironic cheers from the Derby County fans as they get away with it. Bullet header from Jordan Ayew. But it stays just 2-0 to Leicester City, and Derby can breathe a massive sigh of relief, Matt Murray.
Well, I was thinking game over, but then you just had to have a glance at the line-up, didn't you? As I saw you look, you're too experienced in this, Joe, because you're thinking, surely he can't be that free. They were queuing up, weren't they? But it was their free header, but good defensive line. So let's credit Derby for the defending.
He emerged so clear, didn't he, Matt? Yeah. I just thought, well, there's got to be something wrong with this, sadly. Maybe it's the VAR instinct from the Premier League. Here come Leicester again. Mamadini racing down the inside left and hauled to the ground by Langas. That should be a yellow card, and it is. Free kick to Leicester in a very dangerous position, and Derby are in real danger of being run ragged here, Matt Murray.
Yeah, they look rattled, don't they? That Ibu Adams clearance, then obviously that chance there. To be fair, they did hold the line, but yeah, it just feels like every time Leicester City go forward, you're thinking
they'll score.
Yeah, you do. That's the feeling you get. And look, they have got that quality in the side, and now it's again, this invites pressure. It's really, really difficult as a goalkeeper when it looks like it's going to be maybe an outswinger here, but especially if they end up putting 2 over the ball, you never know it's going to be in-swinger, out-swinger. But it's that line. Defenders have to stay with it, hold the line, give you space to work in. But yeah, they had an escape last time, but Leicester have been excellent. They really have.
Leicester have produced a performance to ease the pressure on Martí Cifuentes, who's watching on from the dugout at the moment. No need to be in the technical area. With Leicester in such command. 2-0 up. It was nearly 3, but for the offside flag. Free kick, left edge of the penalty area. Thomas is standing over it again. Up goes one arm into the air from Thomas. Now the left-footed delivery to the back post, and it's headed behind by Elder before Fatawu could reach it. And Derby clinging on really to being just 2-0 behind.
They are, and again that ball whipped in with pace. You say it's a greasy surface, fired in, shot into the box. Good defending in the end, but now it's a corner. It's just been relentless at the moment, Leicester. Excellent.
Fatawu will take it here live on Game Day Live on Talksport 2 every Saturday afternoon. We've got Ipswich against Coventry at 3 o'clock for you here on Talksport 2. So the league leaders go to Portman Road. Frank Lampard's Coventry, who've been the outstanding team in the league this season. Fatawu with the in-swinging corner for Leicester towards D. Cordova-Reid at the back post. It was headed away. Ibu Adams will reach the loose ball for Derby and hammer it straight out of play. And Derby, no great shape to their work on and off the ball at the moment. And as Matt was saying a few moments ago, they look a bit panicked, this Derby team.
But credit Leicester, because they're not giving them time, and that's what. Look, I criticise.
What you wanted, right?
Yeah, because when I saw Leicester before, they weren't doing that. Look at Ayew chasing them into the corner, forcing the throw in. Now it's a long throw in the box. So credit Leicester for making Derby feel rushed.
Well, the throw is going to come into the penalty area from Thomas. Far side the left in front of the Leicester fans. It's long, fizzed into the near post. Vestergaard couldn't get it under control. My first instinct was that it might have been a foul throw, actually, but the ball is cleared by Langas high and away for Derby. The sun has gone back behind the clouds as Derby poke it high up into the air through Salverson into the centre circle. The header away by Skip, retreating back to help out Vestergaard and Nelson. Derby have to go back to goalkeeper Zetterström, who had no chance with either of the two Leicester goals so far. 26 minutes have been played. Ricardo does very well in a one-on-one with Elder, a firm but fair shoulder challenge. And Ricardo there to win it back. An old school bit of defending from him. Ayew goes down, feels he was tripped by Sanderson off the ball. Referee says no, and assistant thinks likewise. What did you think, Matt Murray?
Well, Ayew definitely thought it was a foul. You can see Cifuentes out to the fourth official. Not that he's going to affect anything, but look, they let it go. But you know what? It's been a good physical game, and I have to say, when he went shoulder to shoulder there, Pereira, that's where... See, my mate Lescott, he'd say to him there, they're not a gym in your club. You've not got a gym in your club when he put you on the weight. So, yeah, proper old school shoulder barge. I enjoyed that.
Firm but fair.
Yeah.
Ayew still down. Derby don't need to put the ball out of play because it's not a head injury, and Ayew limps to his feet. Morecambe 0, Boston United 1 in the National League is the latest score. Derby 0, Leicester 2, and that's really got the crowd going here. That incident with Ayew, who didn't get the free kick. Now he's getting the boos on halfway. Matt Clark is with him. Ayew goes down, and the free kick goes the other way. He's grabbed onto the ball there, Ayew. Marty Cifuentes is furious, but Derby get the free kick, and I think the referee has got that one right.
Yeah, because he's been consistent. He's playing. I think he's playing with quite a high bar of physicality. So, look, there's been a couple of people going the book when it's been right, but he's letting it flow. But do you know what? It gets the fans up. This is what you're looking at. And but I think the referee's been fine. Goalkeeper's gone down. Now, he's no way he's injured. This is a tactical one that we've all been talking about. This has been going on for years and years and years. They've got to change the rule for me.
Well, they're trying to get them stopped, aren't they, Matt Murray? Because Zetterström is being treated at the moment by two Derby physios. Both sets of players come across to the near side, and there are stern words from John Eustace. Look at him finger-pointing at the Derby players. Is there anything in that, Matt Murray? It looks like he's really laying into his Derby players.
Yeah, because... What we did we talk about? You can't be outfought. You can't be outworked. Now, these Derby lads are good lads, and John Eustace always shows a team of commitment, but they just look rattled. He wants to see something. He wants to see more from them. So, but 100%, this goalkeeper's not injured, and 100% that's a tactical one for him to get into them.
Well, what should happen is what is being talked about, isn't it, Matt Murray, is that if the goalkeeper goes down injured, obviously he can't then come off, but what you do is you nominate an outfield player to come off in his place,
and it should be longer than 30 seconds. It should be a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
So or you're not allowed over.
And does that stop it instantly?
Yeah. Or you're not allowed over for the tactic because you're doing it to have the talk.
Yeah.
So if you can't come over, then it stops that as well.
Yeah.
So because look, he's fine. It was 100% a tactical break in play to get get into his players.
Well, maybe they will be a thing of the past sooner rather than later. We are approaching the half-hour mark. Derby 0, Leicester 2. Entertaining here on Talksport 2. Derby long to Matt Clark. Header across the edge of the penalty area. Bobby Clark lofts it forward on the volley. Header away this time by Nelson. It'll drop down for Adjemang inside the box. The angle is against him, and he was a bit heavy with his first touch. Ricardo, like a Rolls Royce, scampered across in front of him. Adjemang nearly went flying into the corner flag. And Ricardo, I tell you what, looks absolutely silky today in that Leicester right-back position.
He's absolute nails, isn't he? He's sending everyone flying. So, now, do you know what he does? He times it really well with his body, because he's not the biggest, but Adjemang went absolutely flying now. It's brilliant. But, yeah, Pereira's been very, very good. A captain's performance so far.
He's skating across the turf, isn't he, Ricardo, making it look easy. 2-0 to Leicester City. Zetterström, the Derby goalkeeper, all in green, finds Langas, a rather awkward high ball, clattered upfield by Langas. Vestergaard gets in front of Adjemang to clear. Skip, midway inside his own half. The Leicester goalkeeper Stellaci has not had a save to make as yet. And we have had now over half an hour of football. Rain returning briefly here at Pride Park. The conditions are on and off really, but it is certainly very mild for the month of December.
Yeah, it is, yeah, because it was raining before in the warm heavily, wasn't it? But yeah, it's great conditions,
Still quite a slick surface as well. Mabadini left wing position, he's close to the corner flag here, taking on Langas in a 1-on-1. Down by the dead ball line, back to Thomas, first time left-footed cross, and in goes the third! Jordan James sneaking in at the near post to poke it beyond the goalkeeper, and Leicester City are running riot at Pride Park. It is Derby 0, Leicester City 3, and this is some performance from the Foxes.
Top performance for me. 3 goals, 3 points now for Leicester City, because again, we're talking about the timings of runs. So sometimes I think the run makes the pass. So when you see that ball set back and then Jordan James just times his run to perfection and it drops to him, he's ran off a midfielder, not sure the way Bobby Clark's looking, I don't know if he's come off him, but it's so hard for defenders to pick him up, and he just gets in there and he just, it's the quality of the finish. For me, Jordan James is a Premier League player. I think he's a really, really good player. He's come in, he's created, now he's got the goal. Excellent. Those fans are loving it. I don't see a way back. I don't see a way back for Derby. But that for me was top. That was Premier League quality again. Some of the goals they've scored, 2 of the goals they scored this afternoon are absolutely brilliant.
The former Birmingham man, the Wales international, who set up the first, scores the third. And some of the Derby fans heading for the concourses, certainly, if not the exits. Their team are 3-0 down, with just over half an hour played here on Talksport 2, and Derby have collapsed, and they don't appear to have heeded the words of John Eustace in that little pause in play. John Eustace screaming at his team as they come forward with Elder rolling the ball up the near side, the left. Brereton Diaz has been anonymous really in the first half so far. Right-footed cross in towards Salverson. It'll drop at the back post for Ward. Oh, and he's hit the bar. Hammered off the underside of the woodwork, bounced down on the line and away to safety. What a chance for Derby to get back in it straight away.
Yeah, what a strike. And to be fair, he's got his head down, he smashed it. Sometimes you think they're hard and low because it's difficult for a keeper. I don't think Stolarczyk got any hands on it. He looks like he stood. Maybe I'm going to give the keeper credit. If it was that slightest bit lower, maybe it's a touch. But what a strike. If that had gone in off the underside of the bar, this place it would have been game on. And really, really maybe felt it. But just over half an hour in, that's their first real shot on goal.
Adjemang with a low curling shot from 25 yards out, and Stolarczyk does have to make a save this time, but it's a relatively simple one, gathered easily by the goalkeeper. He has a face like thunder, John Eustace, at the moment. Baseball cap on, standing on the edge of the technical area in the rain. I wouldn't want to be a Derby player at half-time the way this game is going. 3-0 to Leicester. 11 and a half minutes of the second half to go.
Look, I grew up playing against John. He was at Coventry's youth team. I was coming through at Wolves. We used to see each other. I see him in Sutton Park now. We live in the same area. And look, he's a lovely guy. He's a mild-mannered guy. But when he comes up, he put a tackle in. Yeah. And also, he can get stuck into his players, because what he did, he always played with commitment. He'd expect his team to play with commitment and fight. And at the moment, Derby have been, I think passive would be the word. Since they went behind, they've been passive for me.
Matt Clark on the halfway line for Derby. Certainly defensively lacking, though Leicester will feel that the first and third goals were beautifully worked. Good ball out to the left by Bobby Clark for Derby. Brereton Diaz checking his run and jinking back infield. Then Bobby Clark knocks it wide left again. Little flick by Elder on the angle. Here comes Brereton Diaz by the corner flag, and then it's hammered against his shins by Fatawu. Brereton Diaz has escaped the challenge and then whips in the delivery towards the near post. Adjemang can't get it under control. He was in a very tight area there, Brereton Diaz. Actually did well to get the cross in. It has come all the way back to Derby and Dion Sanderson on the halfway line. Derby with a lot of work to do. They were 3 points off the playoffs at the start of this game. They are now 3-0 down to Leicester City. Here comes Adams for Derby. Not shown his usual energy and tenacity in the middle of midfield. When you look at just about every area, Matt Murray, Leicester have been the better team.
They are on top, definitely. They've been better in possession. Obviously, been clinical with their chances. But what you said, no clean sheets in 12.
Yeah,
they've been defensive. Apart from that one effort off the bar, I think they've defensively looked very, very good, very sound, very organised, very a good unit. There, when that ball went into Adjemang, blue shirt straight around him, good defensive line. So, yeah, maybe that's something they've really, really worked on in training as well.
Well, they put themselves in a great position to win the game here. Bobby Clark, long sleeve white shirt on the underlap is Callum Elder with a low first time cross. Goalkeeper didn't get there. Adjemang beat him to it, but could only steer the ball wide, and Stolarczyk has gone down. He might need the physios on here, the Leicester goalkeeper. Adjamang tried to poke it, not quite out of his hands, but certainly his boot and Stalacic's gloves were very close to each other. And in the end, it's gone wide off the boot of Adjamang.
Yeah, so Adjamang's done brilliantly because he's tried to get across the front post. I thought it was a good low ball in. Stalacic's been brave. He's come out. It can be a sore one where you meet the ball and the foot of the striker in your hand, and it is a sore one. I think he'll be okay. He's just come back into the side today. Adjamang's done everything right. He's had every right to go for it. But in the end, because he's done that, if he hadn't come out, Stalacic, then he flicks it in, and it's probably a chance for him to score. So good goalkeeping, better from Derby. So they put some decent balls in from that wide area. I do think he's going to be okay, but it will be one of those where you just pop your finger or whatever. But he'll be fine. But better from Derby. But all in all, as you say, Leicester have been the superior side for me.
Matt Murray is with us, former Wolves goalkeeper, here on Talksport 2. Tomorrow afternoon, we've got FA Cup second round commentary for you as Boreham Wood take on Newport. How about this for a scoreline, Matt? Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. Matty Cash.
I think Unai Emery's done an amazing job. They started the season a little bit slowly, but wow, what a run they've been on. And I fancied them. I did. I think if, Arsenal unbeaten, but going to Villa Park, they're at it at the moment, Villa.
Watford 1, Norwich 1. Luca Kirumgard has scored an equaliser for Watford at Vicarage Road. And you're up to date here on Talksport 2. And Natalie will give you all of the half-time scores once we are done here at Pride Park. So it is Villa 1, Arsenal 0, and a turn-up for the books in the Premier League. And certainly here at Pride Park, not a scoreline that many would have expected, with Leicester 3-0 to the good. Header away by Vestergaard for them. Stalacic able to carry on, the Leicester goalkeeper, after that clash with Adjamang. Then Skip steps across in front of Bobby Clark, catches him. Clark goes sprawling on the turf, which is really wet and slippery, and it'll be a free kick to Derby County about 10 yards into the Leicester half. Yeah,
but it's an area you can put a good ball in, and even if you can't get on that first one, can you get on the seconds? And they just need something. They just need that lifeline, Derby do, just to try and get back into this game, because it's quite flat now, isn't that atmosphere before, but now it's only the Leicester fans we can hear.
And Boston lead 2-0 at Morecambe in the National League. We've had 38 minutes as Joe Ward delivers the free kick into the penalty area. Matt Clark goes up for it, punched away two-handed by Stalacic. And now Leicester on the counter with Mavididi racing up the middle. He's got two Derby defenders either side of him. Mavididi tries to race forward even further. Sliding in was Callum Elder. Last touch off Mavididi, who never really had a great deal of hope there on the halfway line, and Derby have got it back.
Yeah, sort of 3 against 1 in the end, but again, good goalkeeping from Stalacic, protecting the space, but good defending from Derby, and but he got Leicester up the pitch. But again, that ball comes in, and they didn't end up making anything of it, Derby.
Derby 0, Leicester 3 is the home team in the black and white from right to left, try to work a way back into the game. If Derby could get a goal before half-time, then maybe the complexion of things would change a bit. The ball is out of play for a Leicester throw on halfway in between the two technical areas. Is that really the only way you can see Leicester being pegged back here, Matt Murray, if Derby can get something before half-time?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think that's it. I think they say Derby usually good from set plays. I don't think they've looked as dangerous, but they've got to get something. So for Leicester, don't give them anything. No mistakes. Don't take any chances. But yeah, I do feel they need something for half-time. Otherwise, this is game over.
And you never say never in football, but it does feel all but over if it stays like this. 3-0 to Leicester as the rain returns, heavy here in the East Midlands. Derby scamper forward. Callum Elder can't reach the layoff from Bobby Clark, who's a bit frustrated. Shouts at himself, does the 20-year-old on loan from RB Salzburg. He joined the Austrian club from Liverpool a year ago, didn't quite make the grade at Anfield, but is certainly a very talented young player whose name is often sung by the Derby fans. Bobby Clark has poked it up the left. It's cleared by Ricardo for Leicester, then nudged forward by Sanderson. Little flick by Brereton Diaz. Away, high up into the air by Nelson, and Langas will get his head to it. Drops down to De Cordova-Reid, who steers it first time to the left. Mavididi gets there in front of Thomas, and Leicester look in the mood for more goals. Thomas played in down the left with a low cross, and it's cleared away by the first man, Langas. And given his deliveries so far, A bit disappointed with that, Luke Thomas?
Yeah, not to miss the first man because he has been excellent getting up there. I think Elder's done pretty well for Derby as well, but yeah, the left backs have been good. But Natalie talked about it in the build-up. I'm looking at Vyman, Jackson. What does
John Eustace have to bring on?
Yeah, to really change it. And I don't think he ever envisaged being 3-0 down, and could be even more at this rate. Leicester still look like they're going to get one more big chance.
Oh, without Carlton Morris until February, Derby. Long throw for Leicester into the area from Thomas is cleared. Comes back out to Mavididi, 25 yards out. He tees up Cordova-Reid to chip it high into the penalty area. Derby struggled to deal with it. Vestergaard nearly got there, and then in the end, Zetterström, the goalkeeper, has to hammer it clear with his right foot. Really messy defending from Derby County, and with all the aerial ability in particular that they've got, Matt, they just couldn't deal with that Leicester threat.
They just do not look convincing. It really, defensively they've been decent. I look at a lot of the games and they haven't. Okay, Watford they were 2-0 up and lost 3, but there've been lots of games where they haven't conceded more than one goal, and they just, every time I'm watching here, frantic. It just feels no control. Whereas the other way, I feel Leicester have a lot of control at the moment, in and out of possession.
3.5 minutes of normal time remaining at the end of the first half. Derby go back to Zetterström. His clearance is dreadful. Straight to the feet of James. He couldn't quite get it under control and he's upset with himself. Matt Clark has cleared for Derby only as far as the halfway line and then given away by Ricardo with a sloppy square pass. Here come Derby on the counter. Elder near side, blocked off by the sliding Ricardo. Mud on the back of his blue shorts as he slides in to beat Elder to it. Good work from the Leicester captain. His team are 3-0 up. And now the ball is back with Derby and Sanderson on the halfway line. We've got Ipswich against Coventry at 3 o'clock, remember, here on Talksport 2. And after the draw for the World Cup was made yesterday, every game of the World Cup next summer will be live across the Talksport network. Early ball by Bobby Clark down the inside left. Adjemang is away. 2 in the middle to Amat. Adjemang, can he steer it across high to Salverson? It was scooped high over the head of Salverson, and Leicester clear through Cordova-Reid up to the halfway line, and that feels like a missed opportunity for Derby.
It does, but I'm going to eat humble pie again. How quickly did those Leicester players recover, get back in, get in their line and get into position? That's a side of the game that is just as important as these quality goals that they've scored.
How many slices have we had now, Matt? 2 or 3 maybe. Yeah. They have been very good though, but nothing would have suggested this performance was coming because, I mean, Leicester 3-0 up after half an hour here. They were 3-0 down after half an hour to Sheffield United last weekend. Derby on the attack. Cordova-Reid cuts it back to Clark. Tried to nutmeg Jordan James. No way through, and Leicester clear over the top. Fatawu has found Jordan Ayew. Away down the right-hand side in the wing position. Only Mavididi forward with him. Jordan Ayew dribbles into the penalty area. The angle is tight and he shoots. Turned away by Zetterström. Should really never have had the chance to go for goal there. Ayew. Derby had so many behind the ball. Decent save by Zetterström with his legs.
Yeah, but what I would say there, he's looking for help. Fatawu, the only one anywhere near it. But what Deon Sanderson's done at least is showed him on the outside.
Yep.
So then the goalkeeper goes, go on then, beat me, makes it more predictable. Good foot save. We said there'd be one more big chance. That's a decent effort. He's done everything right for me, hard and low. Another day it goes through his legs or just squeezes past him. So good save, but great play from Ayew. But yeah, so many white shirts.
Leicester forward again with Mavididi, who's onside and away, down by the dead ball line on the far side. Cuts it across towards James. Brilliant defending by Matt Clark to hook it away for Derby. Otherwise, Leicester would have had a 4th before half-time.
But wow, Jordan James, how good is he at timing that run and bursting into the box and recognising Mavididi, easy for me to say, does so well. How he squeezed that across, because that had beaten Zetterström. Clark, brilliant defending. But wow, 2 big opportunities that could have... imagine if it had been 4-0.
It could easily have been.
Yeah.
Clark's had to clear that off the line, hasn't he? Because it's beaten the goalkeeper, the cross. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0 in the Premier League, live over on Talksport right now. Luke Thomas from the corner flag crosses for Leicester, header away by Matt Clark. We're into 4 minutes of added time at the end of the first half here at Pride Park. Leicester have already scored 3. As have Boston away at Morecambe in the National League. Boston 3-0 up. Here is Ricardo, underlapping run down to the dead ball line on the right-hand edge of the penalty area, but he's shrugged aside by a combination of Matt Clark and Elder. Then it's given away by Adams, nearly on the edge of his own box. And the Derby fans in front of us, understandably, are fuming. They can't believe what they're seeing from this Derby team.
Yeah, and I said I'd been at Pride Park earlier in the season, and this is the sort of, they weren't getting 3-0, but they felt edgy, and they weren't really putting that play together. Then they've been on this great run, but they've been totally outplayed.
And Matt Clark with a floated diagonal ball towards Adjumang from the left, and it's over his head. Adjumang and Salverson have barely had any kind of service in the game, really, with a minute of the 4 added having been played in the first half, and the rain still hammering down from above. Sanderson in front of D. Cordova-Reid, just about. Looked as though the ball was going to bobble away from him, but the centre-half clears, and now Salverson spinning and turning on the halfway line, away from the lunge of Skip, though Skip did just enough to force the error from Salverson, and now Mavididi fancies his chances in a one-on-one against Langas, who's already been booked. Mavididi goes down on the far side to left, and then Adams is slow in possession again, nearly tackled by Ayew. The referee lets it all go, which I think is sensible on balance, and the Derby fans furious with Ibu Adams again, because once more he was sleepwalking on the ball really there. Nearly tackled from behind for a second time in a couple of minutes. Adams now 35 yards out. Works it wide out to the right, and Joe Ward. Ward in stoppage time delivers. Punched away by Stolarczyk. Good goalkeeping. Now on the edge of the box is Adjumang, and it's cleared away by Nelson. The Derby fans want to see much more from their team. 3-0 down. Ward crosses again, and Vestergaard heads this one away. And Leicester look like they have withheld the pressure.
Top goalkeeping. That was whipped in. Protect the space as well as the goal. To hold that line, that position, he had to get that punch on it because there were white shirts in there. And Ibu Adams, I get why Derby fans were frustrated, but Jordan Ayew coming back to try and defend. Again, Leicester fans weren't seeing that before. And that's a work rate you have to show. So I think in and out of possession, as I say, they've been absolutely top draw. And it's just one of them where John Eustace will just want to get his team in at half-time.
And Norwich back in front away at Watford right on half-time. Oscar Schwartau has made it 2-1. Colchester 0, Gillingham 0 is a half-time score. And Aston Villa lead Arsenal at the break in the Premier League on Talksport. Leicester 3-0 up on Derby here on 2. Crossfield ball by Fatawu from right to left is well covered by Ward. Backheader to his goalkeeper Zetterstrom. And Derby have got a minute of added time left here in the first half to try and get a goal that would get them back into it and change the feel at half-time.
Yeah, it certainly would. But how many times do you see a team 3-0 up maybe sit back a bit? Leicester have gone to try and get that fourth, haven't they? It's not they're just soaking it up or whatever and saying, oh yeah, we'll protect what we've got.
Leicester very much in command of this game, and Derby looking ragged and panicked and with a lot of work to do. It feels like it might already be beyond them, this one. Just too many errors in the Derby team. The ball is on the halfway line with Leicester. Skip and plays it backwards to Nelson. Square ball to Vestergaard. Vestergaard, the other centre-half, has carried it over the halfway line, and he rolls the ball wide on the angle out to Mavididi. Vestergaard has continued his run on the underlap here. Can he cut it across? It's turned away by Sanderson at the near post. Now Mavididi gets to the loose ball as the rain gets heavier and heavier. Mavididi bursting into the penalty area, jinking one way and then the other. Goes down, no foul by Bobby Clark, who clears. And that is the half-time whistle. And listen to the reaction of the Derby supporters. Unequivocal, they are desperately disappointed with what they've seen in that first half. The boos ring around Pride Park, but an outstanding first half performance from Leicester City, who, lest we forget, were 3-0 down after about half an hour against Sheffield United last weekend. This time they were 3-0 up after 30 minutes. Bobby D. Cordova-Reid, Oliver Skip, and then Jordan James with the Leicester City goals, easing the pressure, it would seem, on Marty Cifuentes. Derby have an almost impossible task ahead of them. Derby 0, Leicester 3.
Quite an eventful first half then at Pride Park, and it is all looking good for Leicester. So let's review that first half with Matt Murray, who's been on commentary duty for us as well. And Matt, my goodness, I mean, Derby got off to a great start. For the first sort of 5 minutes or so, it felt like they were on top. They couldn't take advantage of that, and it's been Leicester ever since. Yeah,
Leicester. Exactly right, Natalie. You're looking at it, you're thinking, well, we said in commentary, John Eustace would be the happy with 2 managers. The Derby were getting the ball down and playing, looking good, getting into areas. Didn't test Stolarczyk, but didn't look at any danger. And then suddenly, Leicester build from the back. It's a fantastic goal. Real quality would grace any game, any league. and the ball in from James into Bobby De Cordova-Reid. He doesn't break stride, fires it hard and low into the bottom corner, and then that was it. They haven't looked back. They went and got the second, the third. They were clinical. Derby are the ones who are meant to be the clinical side. Well, Leicester are absolutely clinical, and they could have been 4 or 5 going in at half-time. So, yeah, Leicester have been brilliant. Cifuentes will be delighted. And I don't see a way back for Derby, but it's been a really, really good display in and out of possession for this Leicester side.
I suppose ultimately, on paper, when you were looking at both these teams anyway, obviously Leicester littered with Premier League players, and that's really where the quality has shone through in the end.
Yeah, definitely. And Winks isn't even travelled. So the likes of Winks haven't come in this squad. So that's what the question marks have been about this Leicester side. Why, when you've got, as you say, on paper, why you've got these Premier League players, are they struggling in the league? Why are they only, they've lost 3 out of the last 4 away from home? How is that happening? Won 3 of the last 14 championship games. How's that happening? But there've been questions about their characters. Well, this is again why, because when this team show this quality, both the first goal and the third goal were absolutely top draw, Natalie. I'm telling you now, the passing, the movement, the timing of the run, the finish. The second one will be the one probably that frustrates Derby more than ever, because it's from a set piece, not even a great ball in, it's dropped down, and Skip is only a few yards out unmarked to fire it home. But that's why people are saying, if these Leicester players work hard, then their quality should show. And this is a Derby side that, all in all have been on a good run, are above them in the league, and they're blowing them away. So it's a long way back. You said it in the build-up. John Eustace doesn't have many options, but I think there will be substitutions at half-time. There has to get back into this game.
Yeah, if people are just joining us, just with regards to the bench for Derby, there are 4 defenders on that bench and quite limited attacking options as well. But Matt, I mean, forgive me for not knowing every single game that you've played in, but being 3-0 down at half-time, what would that be like for a manager, for a team to experience in Derby's case? What would John Eustace now be saying to this side?
It's really difficult, and unfortunately in my career I know what it feels like, Natalie. I know you're going to, it's probably against Brentford sometime, you're going to throw into No, it actually wasn't. But yeah, look, I know what it's like in a Derby match. So we played against West Brom, hadn't played them for ages, and they came on our turf and they absolutely smashed us in the FA Cup. It was embarrassing, it was horrible. And this is what these Derby players haven't played against Leicester for ages. The fans were right up for it, and now they're getting beaten. So what would be the message? Because when you played for a Mick McCarthy side, for example, he wanted to see fight, he wanted to see passion, and he'd forgive you the mistakes. And sometimes the West Brom team that we played against, they'd come down from the Premier League. They're better players. So John Eustace will be saying, that performance there, guys, doesn't reflect my side. Mm-hmm. If they outdo you with quality, I'll forgive you that. So go and show these fans some passion, some commitment. You have had the one chance where you hit the bar. Can we get the next goal? And even if we lose the game, can we win the half? Can we come with some sort of positivity to take into the next game and give these fans something to cheer? But they have to start well, but I think he will make change at half time. If not, certainly on the hour mark. But that's what I think it would be. Show some pride, show some passion, because at the moment you've been outworked, outplayed, and it is just not good enough for any Derby side, especially in an East Midlands derby. So I think that will be the message.
Okay, Matt, for now, thank you very much. We'll have more from Matt and Joe Shannon when we approach the second half and bring you the second half commentary as well. But just to remind you, over on Talksport right now, it's half-time at Villa Park, where Aston Villa lead by 1-0 against the league leaders Arsenal. Remember, you can use the Talksport app to swipe between the stations. It's really simple. Download from your app provider, and then, as I say, it is a simple swipe. Second half commentary from Pride Park then is coming up. Plus, we'll also look ahead to our 3:00 offering in the Championship, which sees Ipswich taking on the runaway leaders Coventry.
No-nonsense sports coverage.
Oh, he's going all the way!
This is Talksport 2. Talksport 2 is your dynamic destination for all the latest sporting action, featuring live commentary of all the biggest events, including football, PGA golf, horse racing, Premiership rugby, cricket, boxing, and all the big-hitting drama of the NFL.
Touchdown!
Plus, Talksport 2's official betting partner, William Hill, is always on hand with the insight and in-depth analysis you need. Talksport 2 with official betting partner, William Hill. 18+, gambleaware.org.
This Christmas, McDonald's and the Elf on the Shelf are bringing festive tasks to your little ones, like writing a Christmas card for your postie.
Thank you. You're one happy helper.
Some fun, some food, it's all inside this Happy Meal. until the 30th of December from 11am. Includes one pre-selected book or toy while stocks last. Subject to availability. Fair ordering policy applies.
Turkey tummy, fizzy reflux, sprouts. Gastric trouble can feel like the festive gift that keeps on giving. At the first sign of discomfort, think Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea,
Heartburn,
indigestion,
upset stomach.
diarrhea.
Pepto-Bismol coats and soothes your stomach for effective 5-symptom relief. Pepto-Bismol oral suspension contains bismuth subsalicylate. Always read the label.
Well, hello there. Welcome to the world of Trustford. Oh, it's huge. Filled with our friendly team to help you with all our latest products and offers. Like 0% APR on new cars and vans. And there's a wide range of used vehicles all available with Trustford now. Visit trustford.co.uk and discover the world of Trustford. For you. Terms and conditions apply.
Unwrap daily surprises this December with the Lidl Plus Advent Calendar. Every day until Christmas, you could get exclusive offers like money off coupons and even the chance to win a year's free shopping. Check the Lidl Plus app every day to open 24 unmissable offers. Lidl, more to value.
18 plus GB only while stocks last. Minimum spend required. Terms apply. See lidl.co.uk/LPTV.
1 in 8 men will get prostate cancer, but all too often they find out by complete chance too late. It shouldn't be this way. With no early warning signs and no national screening programme, we need your support. A donation to Prostate Cancer UK will help fund the research that will improve the odds of catching prostate cancer earlier, saving thousands of lives. It's about time men's lives weren't left to chance. Visit prostatecanceruk.org/give.
When your deodorant has been reduced to a tiny whisper and tries to tell you, I'm running on empty. I don't have much left to give. No need to worry. Your new deodorant is already on its way. Arriving today with Amazon Prime. Everyday essentials delivered fast. It's on Prime. Cut-off times and T's and C's apply. See product page when ordering.
At Adrian Flux, we offer value-for-money specialist insurance for all kinds of vans and commercial vehicles. From couriers and caterers to plumbers, chippies, and even Mr. Whippies. Last year, our customers saved an average of 21% with a cost-effective, expertly tailored policy from Adrian Flux. Get van insurance that works hard for you and your business. Visit adrianflux.co.uk to get a call back today. Adrian Flux, insurance for the individual.
The sports machine turns you on to the power of live football.
He fires in a beauty.
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
Nunez over the top, through to Azon. He's clear. Azon off the post. Jack Clark is there to tuck away the rebound. Philogene on his left foot. Oh! Take the match ball home and frame it. Get everybody to sign it and tell them how brilliant you are. Philogene takes the corner. In swinging, headed down by O'Shea. Kipre and bundled in. Into the near post. Down goes Sims. 2-1. Ellis Sims in the form of his life for Coventry City. Puts it across to Sims to win it. And Sims does win it. A double for Ellis Sims. Straight to the box. Volley. And in. Coventry are in front. And it's Victor Thorpe.
This is EFL Game Day Live here on Talksport 2. Before we have a quick roundup of the rest of the lunchtime scores, let's head to Portman Road, speak to our commentators for our exclusive 3 p.m. offering, which sees Ipswich taking on Coventry. The former Arsenal winger Perry Groves and Ian Danter are there for us. Afternoon to you chaps, how you both doing?
Hello, Nat.
Hello.
All right.
What?
You know what I mean? It's on your game, isn't it?
Yeah, nice easy stroll down to Ipswich for you, Perry.
Nat, I had to get up at 9:30.
Oh, I feel for you.
Taking one for the team.
Indeed you are. But listen, it's quite a cracking game we hope we're going to have in store between two sides that, well, one certainly was deemed one of the pre-season favourites to go up in Ipswich, and right now the runaway leaders in Coventry too.
Well, you look at the 3 sides that have been relegated. Ipswich are doing best of all, but they've all suffered a bit of a post-Premier League problem. They've just had 3 away games. They're 7th. They're 15 points behind Coventry as things stand, but only 5 behind, what the top 2 before Middlesbrough won last night. So it's not an insurmountable gap to really in one of the automatic spots, Natalie, but they've got to start finding some form. They've got a win, a loss and a draw from their last 3 away games that they played in just over a week. And Kieran McKenna's been talking about trying to find a stronger connection between his players because he thinks they're scoring more goals, they're conceding fewer than they did in their promotion season, yet it's just not coming off for them in the same way.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the stats, 19 goals conceded, which is, I think, the 3rd best in the league as well. So, yeah, absolutely right to highlight their defensive abilities. But they have been off the pace, not expected as well, as I mentioned, because they were one of the pre-season favourites, Perry. What would you put that down to?
I think what Dan said there and what Kieran McKenna alluded to is he was talking about connections and chemistry. He said, no, because they had a lot of new signings. The team that came up in 23-24, obviously they'd come up the season before from League One. So they all had that sort of bond straight away, and they're all like in for it with each other. Now this team, they're very inconsistent, Nat. You can see them in one game and they'll pass the team off the pitch, and the other game then they look all sort of disjointed. So I think it's maybe Kieran McKenna's got to get a settled team, a settled back four, a settled system where he's been sort of tinkering a little bit. So they're not far away. And we're lucky to be here today because these are the 2 championship highest scorers. Ipswich got 30, Coventry got 50. So it just shows you how Coventry have been ripping it up.
I was going to say 50 goals in 18 games. I think that's an average of nearly 3 a game as well. No team in Europe is close to that mark, and that's the certainty of Coventry, isn't it? That they'll score goals, and that's what we hope to see this afternoon.
Even without 18 goals in the team today, with the fact that Brandon Thomas-Asante is out with a hamstring injury, Haji Wright is out with a hip problem, so that's 18 goals. But when Ellis Sims comes in and scores 5 in 3, then does it matter? Not really, although Frank Lampard has made mention of the fact that being deprived of Thomas-Asante for a few weeks does heighten the need to bring in reinforcements in January. But I think he's in the perfect position to say to Doug King, I need a couple of extra bodies in January, and that Doug King will probably say, yeah, all right, if it helps us get over the line as things stand. But they missed Rodoni for a good month and a half in midfield, and they didn't miss him, and I thought they would. But that's testament to Josh Eccles, Victor Torp, Matt Grimes, Jamie Allen, those players in that central midfield area who really delivered when Rodoni was out with his thigh problem. Incidentally, there'll be some TNS have scored 54 goals, I think. That's not a major European league, I guess, Natalie, but yeah, they'll be screaming at their radios. Any TNS fans listening?
Yeah, you're quite right. You're quite right. I do.
But you're right. Bayern Munich 44.
Yeah.
PSV 43. I think it is. No one comes close to what Coventry have done in terms of their goaltending. It's magnificent what they've done.
You know what? Since Frank Lampard took over in November the 30th, 2024, they've scored 92 league goals. So that's the most in the top 4 tiers in this country. They've won 29 games. There's only one team in that time who's won more games, which is
Birmingham City.
There we go. You have to shoot it in for him.
Knew that was coming. Listen, we'll chat more later on, but for now, thank you very much. That is our 3:00 kickoff then, and we'll build up to that one in more detail a little bit later on. Just to remind you, it's just gone underway on Talksport for the Aston Villa Arsenal game, where Villa lead by 1-0. Matty Cash's goal, the difference between those two. And in the Championship, just to run you through what's happening there at half-time, Norwich lead Watford by 2-1 at Vicarage Road. It's goalless between Charlton and Portsmouth, although this game has been paused due to a medical emergency. So more on that as and when we get it. And in League One, Cardiff are 1-0 up at home to Huddersfield. It's 0-0 between Plymouth and Bradford. And in the only League Two encounter, it is goalless between Colchester and Gillingham, as that one has got back underway. The teams, though, are out now at Pride Park. Looks as though there is substitutions being made as well for a Derby side who are desperate to get back into this one against Leicester. 3-0 they trail at the break, the most they have conceded in a first half of any game in the Championship. So let's take you back to your commentary team, shall we? Matt Murray is alongside Joe Shannon.
Yes, thank you, Natalie. Derby trying to really complete the impossible at 3-0 down here at half-time, and there are 2 changes being made. Andy Vyman and Liam Thompson are the 2 to come on, and Lars Jørgen Salverson, who had very little in terms of service in the first half, and Ibu Adams are the 2 to be replaced for Derby County. Leicester have been excellent. The quality of their finishing even better, belying the recent run that they've been on under Marti Cifuentes, but the perfect tonic for Leicester ahead of the trip to Bristol City on Wednesday. So a few days of travel for Leicester City to come, but they'll enjoy it all the more if they can hold on to victory here. Lots of Derby fans still to take their seats for the second half. Derby will get us off and underway from left to right towards the south stand in the second half. Derby white shirts, black shorts and white socks, and Leicester leading by 3-0, all in the royal blue and playing from right to left. Derby trying to go on the attack straight away, header clear by Yannick Vestergaard, and now Joe Ward for Derby, away on the near side, the right. There's no doubt that John Eustace will have given his Derby players quite a firm message at half-time, you would think, as they win a throw deep inside Leicester territory. Where do Derby need to improve, Matt Murray, in this second half? Just about every area?
Yeah, really, yeah. They've got to defend better first and foremost, but yeah, going forward, get bodies in the box, get that quality there. They did get that bit of confidence when they hit the bar. Great effort that was from the fullback, but they've just got to do more. They've got to do more and show that more fight. Get closer to Leicester. Don't give them time. Don't let them build. And maybe show them the DVD, Joe, of Wolves when they were 3-0 down against Leicester in the Premier League.
Yes, and won 4-3.
There you go. So he must have showed them that at half-time. I was on the bench that day, so it can be done.
And the Wolves manager was Dave Jones, and yes, 4-3, so his team talk was successful. Leicester on the attack at the other end, though. Here, great low ball in by Jordan James. It evaded Ayew and then Mavididi at the back post, and Derby a little fortunate maybe that they were not 4-0 down.
Yeah, again, look, they're great with real quality, real purpose. Just the way they increase that tempo, and then nothing slows it down, does it? The passes and movement, ball fizzed across, and yeah, into a really dangerous area. And that honestly, it's just every time, isn't it? We feel it every time they go forward. They look like they're going to create something.
Well, Leicester are putting themselves back into the playoff picture. If they continue to play like this, they'll close the gap on the top 6. Will Leicester City to 2 points, albeit Bristol City, of course, have still got to play. The team currently in 6th position in the Championship. So 3-0 to Leicester. Derby Zetterstrom in goal, with Langas, Sanderson and Matt Clark, the centre halves. Ward, Thompson, the half-time substitute, Bobby Clark and Elder in midfield. Brett and Diaz, Vyman also on for the second half, and Adjimang up front. And for Leicester, the goalkeeper is Stolarczyk. Leicester have got a free kick now, midway inside their own half of the field. Ricardo, Nelson on the ball right now, Vestergaard and Thomas, Skip and James, Fatawu, De Cordova-Reid and Mavididi behind Jordan Ayew. And really there's been quality all over this performance in the first half from Leicester City, looking to continue that into the second period. The ball is with Vestergaard again, giant centre half, rolls a ball forward 20 yards or so, heavy touch by Jordan James, and Derby go back to their goalkeeper once again. I'm hearing that the game at Charlton against Portsmouth, which had been delayed, has been abandoned due to that medical emergency in the crowd. And of course, we send all of our best wishes on Talksport 2 to the person at the centre of that medical emergency. Things are far more important from football, such things far more important than football. But we're hearing that Charlton against Portsmouth has sadly had to be abandoned today. Thompson on the halfway line for Derby, rolls the square ball out to the left, and Callum Elder. The rain has stopped here at Pride Park, but those murky clouds still loom overhead. Derby 0, Leicester 3. 3.5 minutes into the second half, and a ball hoisted forward by Langas, the right-sided centre half, and overhit. Easy for Stolarczyk, who, Matt Murray, as a former goalkeeper, you'd probably say Jakub Stolarczyk had a relatively easy time of it in the first half.
Yeah, pretty quiet, but the few interventions he did were brave, were decisive. A great punch, wasn't there? And that low one as well, where he did enough to put Adjimang off. But all in all, Derby will feel the one off the bar, but apart from that, he wasn't really tested.
Here come Leicester again on the right-hand side with Fatawu. A deep cross to the back post, headed away by Langas and flicked further clear by Joe Ward. Will be with the league leaders Coventry at 3 o'clock away at Ipswich in the Championship here on Talksport 2. Coventry, after Middlesbrough's big win at Hull in the North East last night, another Talksport 2 live commentary, will have the chance to extend their lead at the top back to 9 points. They really are dominant at the top of the table. Coventry City, 10 points, 10 points the lead will be for Coventry if they win later. Jordan James, deflected cross for Leicester, goes behind at the North Stand end, which is packed with Derby fans. Leicester have a corner and no sign as of yet of a remarkable Derby fight back now.
No, not as yet. And I'm just looking at Vyman, sort of playing out on the left, isn't he? Brereton Diaz is trying to get a bit closer to Adjumang on the attack. Maybe is it Clark trying to play in that 10 role? But it just feels, at the moment, whatever Derby throw at Leicester, they can deal with it.
Still Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 0. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0 in the Premier League on Talksport as the corner is drifted into the near post by Jordan James, headed away, nodded back forward by Thomas. Mavididi from a long way out, dribbles to the edge of the area and shoots, and it hits the head of Sanderson. That's going to trickle away towards the corner flag and out of play for a Leicester throw. Close to the dead ball line. The way that he marauded forward there, all of a sudden, Steffi Mavididi shouldn't have been allowed to reach the box in the way that he was. Sanderson, importantly, getting his head in the way of
it. Good brave block. He comes out and gets a block, but he is a good dribbler. He had a little run in the first half, didn't he? Definitely not a penalty, especially with the high bar that the referee's shown. But again, really positive. We said it in the first half, and it's again, Leicester are not sitting back at all.
Top of League One, Cardiff 1, Huddersfield 1. Early in the second half, an equaliser for Huddersfield, and Arsenal a level at Aston Villa through Leandro Trossard. So it's 1-1 at Villa Park. Coventry continues over on Talksport. Just download our app to get that. Fatawu again with a low ball in for Leicester, into the near post. Matt Clark is there, sweeps it away from danger for Derby. Vyman controls on his chest and then flicks the ball harmlessly out of play. You might hear the ironic cheers of the 3,000 Leicester fans. Their team 3-0 to the good. 7 minutes into the second half. And actually, just looking at the stands, there are more empty seats. I'm wondering whether some Derby fans have not reappeared for the second 45.
I think you've got to still get behind your team, show that, hope they can get into it. But we took...
mistake at the back by Elder. Fatawu seizes upon it. Right corner of the penalty area. Elder does well, retreating back for Derby to atone for the error, make the tackle and clear into touch, Matt.
Yeah, he recovered well there. For a minute I thought Fatawu was in, but I think Cifuentes' half-time team talk would be, just keep doing what you're doing, lads.
Yeah.
You've been absolutely brilliant. You're pressing them from the front. You've been relentless. You're not letting them out. You've showed real quality. Don't change a thing.
An excellent team performance so far from Leicester City. Fatawu with a curling cross to the back post. Zetterstrom half punches it away one-handed. Seemed caught in two minds as to whether to catch or punch there, the goalkeeper initially. Now Thomas from the near side, the left, cuts it back towards Mavididi. In the way, in white for Derby, is Joe Ward. Tattoos down his arms and he smuggled it out of play for a throw.
Good cross, wasn't it, again? Really good. But I actually thought Zetterstrom was going to catch, but he just went with one hand, didn't he? And in the end, it was effective. But again, just another long throw. I think that Leicester Derby just cannot get a foothold in this game at all.
Matt Murray's old club Wolves in action on the Monday Night Football on Talksport at home to Manchester United. Long throw by Thomas into the penalty area, flicked on at the near post, only half away by Andy Vyman. Fatawu will get to the loose ball for Leicester, simply let it trickle out of play. Leicester throw, and it's still one-way traffic here on Talksport 2 in our first live commentary of the day, with Leicester leading, and very comfortably so. Nearly 10 minutes into the second half and no real response from Derby County despite those half-time changes. Plymouth 0, Bradford 1 is the latest score in League One. Bradford taking the lead on their long trip south. The rest of the Derby bench: Vickers, Forsyth, Bart, Blackett-Taylor, Jackson, Nyambi and Nelson. And the Leicester City subs: Begovic, Fass, Chowdhury, Carranza, Daka, and youngsters Page, Thomas, Aluko and Evans. But it's certainly no need for Leicester City to look to their substitutes at the moment, as we watch on from the lower tier of the West Stand to the right of the Derby dugout and the famous Steve Bloomer statue. Here come Derby looking for Adjumang and trying to peel away from a combination of Nelson and Ricardo. Hauled to the ground. That'll be a Free kick to Derby, they take it quickly. Brereton Diaz rolling it up the left-hand touchline. Weimann tries to pull it back across. Nobody really up with Andy Weimann, who did well to win Derby County a corner. Derby 3-0 down.
Yeah, a bit of urgency there, a sharp, clever run, but I think he was sort of ahead of everybody else, so he was looking for that support in the box. But look, smart play from him. Corner now to come, and Derby just needs something like, from a set piece, get something, get that goal. But likes of Blackett, Taylor, maybe Jackson, they're the players that I'm looking at that Eustace might bring on.
Corner for Derby. Joe Ward in front of the Leicester fans, right-footed and in-swinging, really fizzed that into the near post, punched away, hit on the volley by Bobby Clark and charged down by Fatawu from the edge of the box. That'll trickle out for a Derby throw, close to the opposite corner flag on the near side. At the south stand end, the south end of the stadium is split between home and away supporters, the Derby hardcore behind the goal to the right. All of them on their feet. Arsenal lead Liverpool 2-1 in the WSL. Late on in that game, they kicked off about half an hour later than we did. 10 minutes into the second half here. We'll get team news at Portman Road for Ipswich against Coventry shortly on Talksport 2. That's our 3 o'clock live game. Long throw into the penalty area by Ward. Adjaman goes up at the near post, headed away again. Drops to Thompson, the diminutive midfield man. Wide to the near side, little flick by Ward and a back heel by Bobby Clark that is straight to Jordan Ayew. And Leicester with a simple task of clearing upfield, which Ricardo didn't do effectively enough. One back by Brereton Diaz away on the right, and he gets Derby another throw. A little bit more from Derby, huffing and puffing maybe, Matt Murray.
Yeah, huffing and puffing, but again, credit Leicester. They're in their area as well. They're getting out, they're stopping the balls in. But yeah, it's at least they're getting bodies forward, trying to get crosses in the box, but they still need that bit more quality. And Stolacic, you said he's been out for a while. This is a nice game for him to come back into.
Out with a groin injury, Jakub Stolacic of late, but back into the Leicester City team today as they hunt a first clean sheet in 13 championship games, it would be. Here is Sanderson for Derby, midway inside the Leicester half, out to the left-hand channel, and Bobby Clark, slender, the former Liverpool man, and now Matt Clark tries to barrel forward away on the far side, the right. He sets up Elder in a tangle of legs with James, and the throw goes Derby's way, level with the edge of the 18-yard box. If Derby could get a goal here before the hour mark, then it would change the field, but they've got to score 3 at a minimum. Leicester scoring all 3 goals in the first half an hour or so. Derby long throw coming up here because Elder is wiping the ball down with his white shirt. Blue sky trying to poke through the clouds. Elder's long throw headed away at the near post by Fatawu. Drops down to Thompson, who nudges it out wide. Poor ball intercepted by Fatawu. And Derby have it back again with Jakob Zetterstrom on the halfway line, the goalkeeper, as he hammers it high and long. Deep ball pumped into the Leicester penalty area. Adjaman can't get there. And let's get team news ahead of our 3 o'clock game at Portman Road. It is Ipswich against the leaders Coventry. And here's Ian Danton.
Thank you, Joe. Wholesale changes for Ipswich after that late point they got at Blackburn. The whole front four has changed, as has the fullback Furlong in for Young, and Eggerly, the late goal scorer, Nunez, Philogene and Hurst all coming into the Ipswich starting lineup. As for Coventry, one change, but a change of system. Victor Torp out, Kane Kessler-Hayden in. Looks like Coventry are going to go 3 at the back this afternoon with wing-backs at Portman Road for our next commentary on Talksport 2, Ipswich Town against Coventry City.
Thank you, Dance. Looking forward to that. On my drive home, Coventry 10 points clear if they win at Ipswich, who are just outside the playoffs at the start of the day. The ball is cleared long by the Leicester goalkeeper Stolacic. You've not missed anything here at Pride Park. Leicester still lead 3-0. Derby seeing more of the ball, a little more in terms of territory as well, but not making any inroads really in attacking areas, Derby. Poor record against Leicester in the recent meetings. 1-1 of the last 8 in the league, albeit this is the first time they've played each other in more than a decade in league competition. The ball is right in front of us on the near side. We're about 10-15 rows from the edge of the pitch. Langas, midway inside the Leicester half, wants to take a throw, looking for options here, the centre half. Looks long towards Brereton Diaz. Was he fouled by Thomas? Referee says no. Then Adjemang and Vestergaard go head-to-head. Corner's been given by the assistant, but the referee has stepped in to say that's a goal kick. Should Derby have had at least a free kick there, Matt Murray?
I thought out of the box here. I thought there was, but maybe just the way Thomas is showing the official, he's saying no, he was pulling me, so the ref let it go. But what I keep saying, he's let it be quite a physical game.
Yeah.
So he's there. Adjemang tried to back in. He felt there was maybe a foul in it, but the lino gave a corner. Referee overruled him. But I just think that Leicester, even though Derby had a bit more possession, they've not had any. Leicester still controlled them out of possession, which has been really good. Bit like that Nuno used to do with his Nottingham Forest team.
Yeah.
To say no problem, you can have the ball, we'll move, we'll slide, but at certain times we'll set traps and then we'll counter-attack. So yeah, Derby having a bit of a ball, but Leicester aren't suffering in any way.
And Leicester produced a classic away performance in many ways. John Eustace watching on the near side touchline. There's a quick word with the assistant coach Keith Downing. I think maybe more Derby changes could well be on the way. Leicester leading by 3-0. Leicester all in royal blue. The ball drops down on the halfway line for Thompson to hook it on for Derby. Now Bobby Clark. Derby competing better in the second half, but Leicester win the ball back on halfway. Forward by Skip to Ayew, the number 9, wearing gloves, and now James with an angled ball to the right, and Ricardo's over halfway. Ricardo checks his run, plays a 1-2 with Fatawu, and then goes infield again and square to the feet of Skip. Good football in tight areas by Leicester City, but now they lose possession. Adjemang in the centre circle for Derby, trying to hold off Skip. No free kick given by the referee. Then Skip slides in. He got to the ball. He got some of the man as well. And actually, I think he's pulled it back for the original foul, the referee. Josh Smith played an advantage. And now Derby do get the free kick in the centre circle.
And again, I think that's good refereeing.
What's wrong with that?
I think it's brilliant. You let it go, you let it flow. The one on Adjemang's not a foul. He's pulled it back and really good. You mentioned Keith Downing there. He was my old youth team manager. And his first ever day, he was a Wolves legend. First ever day, me, Lescott, Keith Andrews, the Brentford manager. We used to drive to training, meet in the half semicircle, and have a Royal Rumble. And that was his first day of meeting us all.
I tell you what, that group of players went on to do decent things, didn't they?
We had a decent youth team. Lee Naylor, Robbie Keane, but they weren't in the Royal Rumble. But now Keith's a manager, and Keith Andrews is a manager. So I'm just seeing Keith Andrews there. And by the way, if you messed him around, what a nice guy, amazing, but wow, he could let you have it. So
isn't he doing a good job?
Yeah, he's brilliant. Oh, Keith Andrews is doing brilliantly. Yeah, really, really good. But yeah, there's a there we go. We should be managers attacking players coming on that we just suggested.
2 changes on the way for Derby, but they've got a free kick right wing position first. Ward into the box, a brilliant delivery, and the header from Langas is in. Derby have got one back, and could this be the start of an amazing comeback? Just over an hour gone. Langas with a thumping header. Derby 1, Leicester 3. That was all about the quality of the delivery of Joe Ward.
Oh, you said it there. Fantastic delivery. We're there, aren't we? The goalkeeper can't come. It's an outswinging, whipped in along that 6-yard line. We know Derby are a threat from set pieces. He powers the header home. Totally a mark. So Leicester will be very disappointed. There's another game without a clean sheet. And we talked about how brilliant they've been. First contacts on all the balls. No mark in there, but the delivery, the desire. Keeper stands no chance, but it's all about the delivery for me. That was an amazing cross from Ward.
Yellow card for De Cordova-Reid for delaying the restart, and Derby are going to leave the 2 players they were planning to bring on the bench here. There will be no double substitution for John Eustace, not yet anyway. De Cordova-Reid yellow carded. Cardiff 2, Huddersfield 1 in League 1. Cardiff top of the table. Derby 1, Leicester 3 after 63 minutes on Talksport 2. And there is some hope, belated hope for Derby here. It really was a power header from Langas, and Ayew and Langas going head to head for a moment away on the left. That settles down on its own, and Derby now have some belief in the crowd, Matt Murray.
They do, and this is what Cifuentes would have been saying. Don't give Derby anything. Eustace would have said, look, get a goal, get that next goal in the game, let's see how it changes. This Leicester team might be a bit fragile. They have been on a bad run. They have been under pressure, but that, as much as the ball was brilliant, shouldn't be a free header that far out.
Brereton Diaz now, midway inside the Leicester half. There's an edge about the game all of a sudden. There's a sense that it might not be quite as comfortable as it was looking for Leicester City. who are going to bring on Hamza Chowdhury, who will replace D. Cordova-Reid, who of course is now on a yellow card, and Derby are going to make their double substitution after all. They were about to just before the goal, and John Eustace has decided that he is going to bring on Caden Jackson and Corey Blackett-Taylor for only his 4th appearance of the season so far. Not really worked out for Blackett-Taylor since joining Derby from Charlton Athletic. So Leicester make their substitution. Chowdhury for D. Cordova-Reid, and coming off now for Derby, attacking change. Off goes Sanderson, and he's replaced by Jackson. So striker for a defender. And also coming off is Brereton Diaz, and there are some cheers for Brereton Diaz as he goes off. And I think they're ironic cheers from the Derby fans.
Yeah, again, I don't like to see that. Again, Ben's a great lad. I worked with him with England Youth, and he's had some good moves as well for Chile, doesn't he? But it'll be interesting to see if they change the system as well with these substitutions. But I like that from John Eustace. You're 3-1 down, you've got back into it, but at least if you are going to lose positively. I think these are really, really positive substitutions, and let's see now how fragile this Leicester team are. They've had it all their own way up until now. That goal, can they stand up and weather probably a bit of a storm?
Watford 2, Norwich 2. Luca Kierumgaard for Watford with his 2nd of the game, and they are back level. Goals flying in all around the grounds in the English game this lunchtime. Arsenal have beaten Liverpool 2-1 in the WSL. It's still level at Villa Park. Arsenal against Aston Villa, 1-1 there over on Talksport right now. Make sure you download our free app to keep across all of the live football. Not just this season, but next summer, where we'll have every game of the World Cup. Adjumang back to Thompson for Derby. 25 yards out. Fouled by James. Free kick to Derby. Very much within shooting range. And then Bobby Clark and James go head to head, and players from both teams get involved. Just about every outfield player into that melee. And the referee's taken a step back to watch what's going on, and now he's going to dish out the punishments, Matt Murray.
Yeah, again, Leicester players a little bit rattled, but I was surprised that Clark reacted like that. End of the day, it was the foul on, was it a foul on Thompson, was it? He just wriggled through.
Yeah.
And it was just a trip. He'd done well, he wriggled away from it. It wasn't a dirty challenge, so it's just be interesting now. But for me, if I'm Stolarczyk, I want to get my wall set up, I want to be organised, and make sure that everything's right. I think the referee again will handle this. Hopefully no cards for it, because it's just a little bit of pushing and shoving. But Derby got their tails up now. It looked like they've gone to a back four. Did you think, Derby, there?
I think so.
Yeah.
Especially with Jackson for Sanderson. They didn't really have any other option. I think he's been excellent, the referee, Josh Smith, by the way, Matt. And we often criticise referees, but he's done what you wanted. No yellow cards, just a stern talking to. Yeah. And now Joe Ward over the free kick.
Well, we've seen the quality Joe Ward's got with the delivery for the goal, and he'll be looking now to get this up and over the wall. These are the moments. Stolarczyk's been out for a while. Greasy surface. Get your wall right. Be brave. Stand and protect your side. But these are the bits that you haven't experienced for a while. If I'm Derby now, I'm building that second wall like they do to get in his eye line, and I'm following in. I'm looking for pieces. But Ward, can you hit the target? Dangerous moment, real dangerous moment.
Well, this is a good 25 yards out, slightly left of centre. Ward has set up one already, takes a big deep breath, curls it right-footed into the wall, comes back out to Ward again. Low shot blocked by Chowdhury. Into the wall not once but twice. Derby 1, Leicester 3, and we are heading towards the final quarter of this game on Talksport 2, with Ipswich against the leaders Coventry coming next. Good noise from the Derby fans. Ward is going to take the throw. It's hoisted long into the near post. Poor throw, never got behind it. Cleared away by Jordan Ayew upfield. Sun trying to break through the clouds overhead now. Still quite dark clouds looming overhead. Derby work it wide left to Elder, and now an opportunity for Blackett-Taylor, the number 11. One-on-one with Fatawu, plays it backwards to Thompson. Thompson nearly caught in possession, bit of layer back to Bobby Clark. 30 yards out, urged to shoot low, and it's blocked by the boot of Chowdhury again. Well, Leicester are under some real pressure here, Matt Murray.
Yeah, maybe do they bring Daka on or something like that? They just can't get up the pitch. And before, when Derby had the ball, they weren't hurting Leicester, but now the fans are up and they just, you can feel the pressure building.
20 minutes to go. Caden Jackson trying to get away down the right-hand side. Environment has poked it infield. Bobby Clark can go for goal, and Chowdhury's there again. Another excellent block by the Leicester substitute, as Derby fail to find Adjamang through the middle, and Fatawu can counter for Leicester. No foul on him by Matt Clark, and Derby urge forward again. Left to right in this second half, in the black and white. Here comes Ward, and the 1-2 ball back to him from Bobby Clark was a poor one. Mavididi intercepts, and Fatawu belts it over halfway, only as far as the goalkeeper's Zetterstrup.
And you said some fans might have left, but the Derby fans that are in are creating that real noise, that belief. And when you're down there on the pitch as the away team, you do feel that momentum change. And for whatever reason now, it's Leicester can't get any control in possession, out of possession. Still getting hurt. Derby are moving the ball, switching the play, looking really good, and look like they could get a second goal here.
Well, there's a really good atmosphere in the game now. Derby 1, Leicester 3. Forward by Bobby Clark here on the near side, the right. He's robbed the possession by James, but nudges it into the path of Ward. He's got time to deliver. High into the area. Missed by the goalkeeper. Missed by Adjamang. Blackett-Taylor shoots, blocked. And then Bobby Clark slices the half volley over the top. Stolarczyk diving up into the air, the goalkeeper missed the initial cross, and he gets away with it. It stays 3-1 to Leicester.
Yeah, and again, that was just a little bit mistimed the cross. Brilliant from Clark, the reaction, because he lost it, but they kept it alive. The ball in was dangerous, into that horrible area. Keeper comes for it. The first one he sort of got wrong, if you like, and then it dropped. But Adjamang just missed his kick, didn't he? If he gets that, the goal would have been unguarded. But yeah, if I'm Stolarczyk now, I'm not playing a short goal kick. I am booting this ball as far away from my goal as I can. Get us in the Derby half and just try and take the sting out of this.
Well, Matt, I was at Fulham 4, Manchester City 5 earlier this week, where we nearly had the comeback to end all comebacks. Derby on the comeback trail themselves, but they're still 3-1 down. Less than 20 minutes to go on Talksport 2. Here goes Blackett-Taylor away on the left, plays it square and infield to Thompson. Thompson is on the lip of the centre circle. He's rolled it out to Vyman. Vyman has got support on the right through Ward. Ward's the man they're looking to all the time here, Derby. His deliveries have been excellent. Back it goes to Thompson again. Thompson square to Matt Clark, and now away on the left is Elder with the lime green boots on. Leicester with everybody in royal blue, back behind the ball. Blackett-Taylor runs into Fatawu. He's down by the left corner of the penalty area, and now Elder's making the overlapping run. Blackett-Taylor back to Matt Clark. Matt Clark will surge forward and nudge it forward towards the dead ball line. He's overhit it. Elder can't get there. Goal kick to Leicester City with 18 minutes plus stoppage time remaining.
And these Leicester fans were having a great time, weren't they? Loving their team, olays, everything. And it's just mad how football changes. And John Eustace,
the beauty of it.
It is, it's great. But John Eustace will be saying, this is what I wanted to see. Now you're seeing the fight. Now you're seeing the work rate. Now they're getting on those Leicester players. They're winning the ball back. They look every time they put a ball in, it's dangerous. But for Leicester, I feel that Cifuentes is going to have to change something. He's got to, because his team look out on their feet and they're just not getting any sort of any territory in the game.
Well, next be with Derby on Talksport 2 when they travel to Birmingham on Boxing Day, which somehow, Matt, isn't far away. 20 days away, would you believe it?
Have you done your Christmas shopping
I
yet?
certainly have not.
Nor have
I've got a lot of work to do. Too much football. And Derby go long and Bobby Clark can't get there. Goal kick to Leicester. And I guess this is where, Matt, you would know as a goalkeeper, starts from your goalkeeper, but all around the team, it's about game management, isn't it, here for Leicester, slowing it down whenever they can.
Yeah, little one. So you notice the Derby ball boy, on this side, he got the ball back to the keeper quickly. There, Stolarczyk just runs to get the ball. You keep on the move, you just try and slow it down. You can't book him for that because he's gone to get the ball. But all those bits, when you're at home, you tell the ball boys, if you're winning, slow it down for me, but there's the balls everywhere. So yeah, you just want to manage the game. No short goal kicks. Even that, it's gone out of play. It's not as bad because it still breaks up the rhythm.
A Derby throw on the halfway line. Leicester, no sign of any imminent changes or further changes just yet. They still lead by 3-1. Still a relatively comfortable lead, on the face of it at least, for Leicester City. Give you the scores elsewhere around the grounds around the country. Villa 1, Arsenal 1, live on Talksport right now. And Watford 2, Norwich 2 in the Championship. In League 1, Cardiff 2, Huddersfield 1, Plymouth 0, Bradford 1, and Colchester 0, Gillingham 0 in League 2. Morecambe 0, Boston 3 in the National League. And you are up to date. Here is Thompson for Derby, middle of the Leicester half. Back to the halfway line. Langas, the goal scorer, will turn. He wanted more options, had to go back to his goalkeeper. Derby now coming forward again, away on the left, far side. Elder's ball 10 yards towards Adjimang. Then Thompson has to slide in on halfway to win it back off Ayew. Good battling from Derby. They will just wish that they had started the game like this. Might have been a very different day and potential scoreline, but we've still got 15 minutes to go. Derby need 2, but if they get another in the next 5 or 10 minutes, Matt Murray, it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, because it'll be 15 plus a bit of stoppage, the substitutions, the goals, the little breaks in play. I think Thompson's done well, don't you?
He certainly has since coming on. And Joe Ward with another low cross, and the offside flag is up on the near side. Ward with the delivery again, and I think he must have been the man offside as it was poked through to him by Weimann.
Yeah, but he has got forward well. His deliveries have been good, but yeah, gone slightly too early. But it's just like Leicester just seems so deep, they can't get up. There, when the ball went back to Zetterstrom, that was again, I'd be as a keeper screaming, get up. You'd be wanting maybe naming Vestergaard. He's the experienced one, or Pereira at fullback, not so much, but we've been able to influence. But Vestergaard's got to marshal this back line, get them up the pitch and close those gaps. But everything Leicester were doing well, they've gone away from. Derby have stepped up, but yeah, I just feel that they need. They're looking at the changes now for Leicester, because they need to do something. They need some energy and just go and press and stop Derby building at will.
Well, Patson Daka is one of those who is going to come on here for Leicester City, and I think the player next to him is Silko Thomas, so a double change on the way for Leicester very shortly, at least a double change. Marty Cifuentes giving some final instructions to Daka and Silko Thomas. Derby go long up the middle. It's headed away by Vestergaard. Bobby Clark has won it back, and now Adjimang has got Blackett-Taylor away on the left-hand side. Blackett-Taylor into the penalty area now. Onto his right foot. Blackett-Taylor took one touch too many. And across came Skip to win it back, and he is scythed down by Thompson. A cynical foul. That'll be a yellow card without any doubt at all. Thompson must be booked for that challenge, and he is going to be by Josh Smith, the referee, because Leicester were nearly away on the counter there.
So, first Blackett-Taylor. When he was at Charlton, he would have ended up doing something there. You said it here, it's not quite worked for him, has it? Because he's an exciting, tricky winger, but you always knew he wanted to come inside there, into the body's problem. Then Thompson, who we've been talking about, has been excellent making it tick. Is that as cynical as they come?
I think it's a good one to take for the team, isn't it?
So, brought him down. But again, how quickly was the referee on the scene to diffuse it? Because those tackles can sometimes, ignite a situation. Referee was on, yellow card, dealt with it. But even in a game like this where the bar's high, definite yellow.
Well, here come the changes for Leicester, the double changes. Jordan Ayew and Abdul Fatawu going off. On comes Patson Daka. Only scored once in 11 months, Daka. And young Silko Thomas, who joined Leicester initially in 2023 after leaving Chelsea. This is his 7th Leicester appearance. All of them have come off the bench, and he's still looking for his first Leicester City goal, first senior goal. Had a loan spell at Wigan last season but didn't score. So Silko Thomas and Daka onto the field, and you look to the Leicester front line, and they still lead by 3-1. 12 minutes to go here on Talksport 2. And we've got Ipswich against Coventry, the league leaders in the Championship, coming up next for you, so you don't need to go anywhere else. Dance and the team will give you all the goals as they go in as well, and Coventry can go 10 points clear at the top of the Championship if they win at Portman Road. Good fight from Derby in the second half, Matt Murray, but doesn't look like it'll be enough at the moment.
No, they need that goal pretty soon. If they do get it, then it will really, really be nervy. But I'm sure that the two subs there, Thomas and Daka for Leicester, have just been told, go and run around. Just go and press. Get us up the pitch. Try and drive the ball to the corners. Just get on the ball for us and work hard. That's what you have to do.
Adjemang has held it up well on the halfway line for Derby. He's nudged it back towards the left, the far side, and Bobby Clark, who suddenly darts infield to a central area. Elder back to Matt Clark, and now Langas. Langas just shy of the halfway line. A simple ball to Vyman, who skews the pass into the centre circle. Thompson has beaten Jordan James to it. Jordan James, you'd have to say, would probably be the game's outstanding player so far for the quality he showed in the first half. High ball for Derby towards Adjemang, beaten to it by Nelson, who looked very composed there. Nelson then smashes the ball high into the Derby half, and out comes Zetterstrom to try and start another Derby attack with 10 minutes plus added time to go, and the Rams need 2 goals here to draw level. It's with Vyman in front of John Eustace away on the near side, the right. He's fed Jackson, who tries a 1-2 with Ward. Derby going direct, and they get a throw out of it. Ward is signalling here that he wants to hurl it in long. Langas is forward again, having already scored 1 goal today. 2 recent goals here at Pride Park for Langas. He scored against Watford in November. Now Derby go back out wide to Ward. Here's the cross, right-footed. Another great delivery. Blackett-Taylor, back post, right-footed shot, takes a deflection. He's there again to try and reach the rebound. Doesn't beat Ricardo. Derby wanted handball for the initial effort, which was deflected away, and the referee emphatically says no.
And you could just see that Clark was working to the edge of the box here, and even though all the big guns are coming up, I had a feeling they're going to work a short one. It's very often that's a little decoy, but then you've got the big bodies in the box, cause confusion. I thought it was an excellent delivery in again from this right-hand side from Ward. But I don't know about you, but Blackett-Taylor, did it just lack that bit of conviction?
Not conviction, yeah. Not played a lot of football, Matt. Yeah. It's fair to be fair to him. Just a 4th appearance of the season.
Because he came through at Villa, didn't he? Came through at Aston Villa. Every time I saw him for Charlton, he was electric, running the show. I thought, really good signing. And yeah, just there, put your foot through it. Just didn't look, real convincing strike.
And 9 minutes to go here in normal time for Derby. Leicester have it with Skip, midway inside his own half. Got his first Leicester goal today, Ollie Skip. As Derby win it back, and Leicester still cannot get out really of their own half at the moment. Good work by James to win it back off Thompson though. Silko Thomas over halfway, and suddenly it's 4 against 4 here for Leicester. On the counter, Silko Thomas goes up the middle, nudges it wide right. James back to Silko Thomas in the penalty area, and the low cross to the near post is far too close to Jakob Widell Zetterstrom. And now Derby on the break. It's forward by Jackson, given away. Luke Thomas there to win it back. It was a bit basketball like that. Marty Cifuentes, I think, will want Leicester to slow the game down, and they do so patiently now with Vestergaard midway inside his own half.
And that exactly that, Joe, because they committed the body forward. Yes, you get the 4th, you kill it off, but don't be open at the back. Don't let the game get stretched. And can they just have put 5-6 passes together and just try and keep the ball for a little bit?
A bit brighter overhead here in the East Midlands on what has been a largely dreary, rainy day so far. But more and more Derby fans now in front of us in the West Stand, heading out of their seats and out into the afternoon. Content that their team have bounced back a little in the second half, but not enough. Leicester doing the damage in the first 45 minutes, and they lead 3-1. And there are now only 7 minutes plus added time to go.
I still think there's a bit to play for, Joe. I do.
Still something in it for Derby, maybe, Matt?
You never know if they get that goal. You know, the amount of stoppage time you get these days.
Yeah, true. And there'll be a lot.
Yeah,
there'll be a lot.
Well, if Man City, like you just said there, they would have probably been chilling on that bench. Were they 5-1 up, was it?
5-1 up. 5-1 up.
And that's one of the best teams, and that's the Pep Guardiola team. So why, when this Leicester team have been struggling, if Derby can get a goal, they've got to believe they get that chance. And I think the fans have been with them this half, though.
They have.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wouldn't be leaving early if I was a Derby fan.
Never leave early, because you never know when it's over. Bobby Clark has threaded it down the left. Corey Blackett-Taylor is there, left corner of the box, and he had the opportunity to play it in first time. Again, took an extra touch, and Nelson's there to poke it away. And Derby are stretched now. No midfield here as Leicester break. Mavididi is over the halfway line, and Mavididi darting down the middle, and it's opening up for him right through the centre. Mavididi, good stop by Matt Clark, standing in front of him to block him off and win it back just at the vital moment.
And credit Ward there as well. I felt Ward looked beaten, but he just did enough, didn't he, just to edge him off it. But going back to Blackett-Taylor, he just wants to do the same thing every time. Maybe try and go on the outside instead on the inside, and just very predictable. He's got in some good positions there. But yeah, I thought Clark timed his challenge to perfection. But I still feel Ward has played well, did well there. But Derby, I still think they're going to get a big chance here.
3-1 down, Derby County. Watford 3, Norwich 2. Watford ahead for the first time at Vicarage Road today through Tom Ince. 3-2.
I remember Tom Ince in the Players' Lounge when he was a young boy. Played with his dad. But they did that here, didn't they, Watford? Came back and beat Derby.
Silko Thomas up the middle for Leicester, right through the middle. It's opened up for him as he tried to nudge it into the path of Daka. Deflected away by Matt Clark. It's come back to Jordan James. 5 yards from the edge of the box. Out to Mavididi. Left corner of the penalty area. Leicester can finish Derby off here. Less than 5 minutes to go as it's dinked in by Mavididi. And Silko Thomas went to ground. No chance that was going to be a penalty kick.
Yeah, never a foul that, but I think Silko Thomas would be really disappointed because he broke through there and his touch, I thought, was just that slightly bit too heavy, which allowed Derby to get the challenge in. If he'd have got it right, he'd have released it. Daka would have been in. And then, yeah, if they get the fourth, it's game over, but there is still something in this game.
More Derby fans head out for the exits in front of us as Bobby Clark wants a free kick on the edge of the Leicester box, but he's not going to get it from referee Smith. Ipswich against Coventry comes next on Talksport 2. 2 cracking back-to-back commentaries from the top of the Championship. Ipswich against Coventry next. Cardiff 3, Huddersfield 1. Cardiff extending their lead at the top of League One. It's still Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 1 in the Premier League, by the way, over on Talksport right now.
Do you think those Leicester fans think they've weathered it now?
I think they think they're nearly there, right?
Yeah, they've come back alive and singing and dancing. And look, they've had some hard times, so fair play to them here. This time of year as well. Expensive, isn't it, to come and watch your teams? You've got all the Christmas to do, shopping to do and things like that. And yeah, they deserve to enjoy that. But I've really enjoyed this game. Really, really have.
Well, Leicester with a youthful look to the substitutes bench, and off goes Steffi Mavididi to be replaced by the 19-year-old Olabade Aluko, who is nominally a defensive player, and the other change sees the 17-year-old, very highly rated Louis Page take to the field in place of Jordan James. Harry Winks left out today by Leicester for a technical reason, said the head coach Marty Cifuentes. And he's putting his faith in youth, it would seem, Matt Murray.
And we talked about things that can lift the club and the culture. These young players will be desperate to play for this team, and come on, the fans love seeing one of their own come on as well. So I think that's wise management again, but they have to be good enough and they have to step up at a difficult time.
Long go Derby, high towards Matt Clark, who flicks it on. Vyman is there, sprawling save by the goalkeeper. Jackson from the angle, very tight, steers it across, and then Langas over the top on the volley. I don't know whether it came off his knee there, the centre half from the angle, and it's looped high and over the bar, and it's still 3-1 to Leicester.
It is, and Stalacic I think's done really well there, that good spreading save to get to Vyman. I don't know about you, Joe, I always think it's a strange time to make a substitution though when there's a free kick like that.
Yeah,
especially with young players coming on. In fact, it can cause a bit of confusion. But look, I'm not a manager, but I just think there maybe let the free kick happen, do the thing, and look, it was a good opportunity, but
it does upset your defensive rhythm, doesn't it, a bit, Matt, you would think?
I think so, because even though they're attacking players, they've still got a job to do.
Silko Thomas could be in behind. Good goalkeeping by Zetterstrom. Racing out of his box to thunder the ball high up into the sky, the Derby goalkeeper. But Leicester have another free kick for a foul by Andy Vyman, and more now of the Derby fans are streaming out of Pride Park because there are 2 minutes plus added time to go. Derby 1, Leicester 3, and Leicester now closing the gap on the playoffs to 2 points. And as we know, Matt, the table can change so quickly, especially in the lead up to and in and around Christmas, where the games are absolutely relentless.
Well, as you said, now Derby went on that run to overtake Leicester in the table. Leicester, when they had that promotion season, they looked home and host, didn't they?
They did.
So they can put amazing run together, but they also then had a real difficult time. So these Leicester players will know they can put a run together for sure, and then that really climb the table. For me, Coventry are going to go up, and then they'll think it's one of anybody else. It's still very open league, and even if they get into the playoffs with the run they've been on, that would still be a success. But this Leicester team, if they play with some of the quality shown in the first half, why not? They could go on a great run.
Middlesbrough occupy second spot at the moment after their 4-1 win at Hull last night, live on Talksport 2. A very impressive victory. Derby have a throw in effectively the right back position. Langas, the right-sided centre-half, takes it across to Elder. Elder on the far side of the field finds Blackett-Taylor. Good turn away from Ricardo. Takes him out of the game completely. Blackett-Taylor accelerates down the middle. Slips it left to Jackson. Jackson's pull back. Andy Vyman is there! Off the line by Nelson. Now it'll drop down to Bobby Clark with the curler. Well blocked by Page. It's going to spin away towards the dead ball line and hacked further clear by Aluko in the end. Good football from Derby, but they can't find the second. Here is Ward, away on the right, the near side of the field. Early cross, charged down by Luke Thomas. Derby corner as we head into stoppage time. And here comes Curtis Nelson for Derby County to play for the first time since January after a knee ligament injury. We're going into 5 added minutes. And Nelson is going to replace Elder, a bit of extra height, I guess, in the box here, Matt Murray.
Yeah, and you might even see him go up front or something for the end and try and keep hitting him and dropping balls in. But now I understand him coming on for a set piece to go and maybe attack this and get in there. But I thought that was brilliant defending from Leicester. The first time we saw Corey Blackett-Taylor actually beat his man, get there, great pull back. Vyman did everything right, brilliant defending on the line. But now it's a big moment. Imagine if they score off this.
Well, 5 added minutes to go. Nelson is forward, straight into the action. After nearly a year out, great to see him back on a football pitch. Here comes Ward for Derby with the outswinging corner. Nelson's there! What a save! By Stolarczyk to his right. And Nelson with a timely introduction. Oh, so nearly.
Wow, what a first touch that is. I mean, he's had to generate the power. He's going away from goal. He jumps up. Brilliant header. You don't have people on the post anymore. I think that's a top save. Stolarczyk's
really good.
Really good. And another one to come in. What an inspired substitution that would have been.
Well, back in the game straight away, Curtis Nelson. Corner for Derby in front of the Leicester fans. Ward has just had to readjust the ball. We've had nearly 90 seconds of the 5 added. Ward, right-footed and in-swinging, punched away by Stolarczyk. It'll drop out to Bobby Clark, edge of the area. Shot is blocked. Charged down on the edge of the penalty area by Silko Thomas. Good goalkeeping, Stolarczyk again.
Top goalkeeping. You make the save and then you finish off the action because you come, bang, when your defence needs you. You're under pressure. Really good goalkeeping. Excellent.
It was really whipped in with fizz, that corner from Ward, who's out on the near side again this time. Underlapping run from Jackson, who crosses. Another Derby corner off Daka. 3 minutes left for Derby to score 2 goals in added time.
These young lads at Leicester be thinking, wow, this is what first team football like when you get thrown on.
There's a chaos about this game, isn't there? Corner to Derby again. Everybody back in royal blue for Leicester City. Nearing the end of the game, Leicester lead 3-1. Ward again for Derby with a corner into the near post, miss-hit. It's come back out to him via Ricardo. Ward with plenty of time to float it high towards Nelson at the back post, and it's headed away again. This time through a crowd by Luke Thomas. It'll come back out to Blackett-Taylor. Now Thompson, Leicester defending their own penalty area. Thompson long. Here's Stolarczyk, got 2 hands on it. Could only palm it behind, and he's gone down, the goalkeeper. It'll be a corner to Derby, with time rapidly running out, just 2.5 minutes to go. Stolarczyk has gone down. Was he holding his head? Or is he going to be able to get up before the physios come on?
I think he'll be okay, but he's just going to run it down a bit. But again, he's been positive, hasn't he? Coming for it, making his mind up, protect the space. But I think he'll be okay, because even if he gets a treatment, he can stay on.
Aston Villa 2, Arsenal 1. Emi Buendia in the 95th minute, live on Talksport.
So
incredible drama.
Incredible. And again, you look at Emery, because he went out on loan, didn't he? And then he's come back in.
He did, and he's come back.
Yeah, and people moan about PSR and they sell players. Emery just gets on with it. He coaches players. He does his thing. How they keep doing it.
They're 3 points off Arsenal, mate.
He has done an unbelievable job. Unbelievable. And there's a lot of Villa fans where I live, and they were going down. And I said to them, I fancied it. I fancied them today. I really, really did. So let's see how they get on. But I'd just be interested here. It was a coming together, wasn't it? Stalacic's come. Again,
2 hands up in the air, right to go for it.
Gone to catch it. Nelson's got every reason. Sometimes as a keeper, even if you can't keep it, put it behind. But then there's that coming together on the floor. Maybe he's just landed on his face a little. But again, he's taking a sting out. But then the referee's going to be adding it on. And that's it.
Yeah, we've had 4 minutes officially of added time, but I think there's at least 2.5 minutes still to play here at Pride Park. Yet another corner for Derby, who are bombarding Leicester now aerially. Derby 1, Leicester 3. Bradford have beaten Plymouth by a goal to nil in League One this lunchtime. We've got Ipswich Coventry to come. Ward with another good corner, and Nelson was up there yet again. Got half ahead to it, really. Could only glance the ball away from goal, but it stayed in play. Derby go backwards to Thompson, middle of the Leicester half. Square ball to Clark, who's now standing on the edge of the centre circle. Clark with an angled ball towards the right. Ward beaten to it by the good work of Oliver Skipp, who was there to nudge it out of play. We've nearly had officially the 5 added minutes, but it's anyone's guess as to how much there still remains. Perhaps as many as another 2. Long throw into the area by Ward. It'll bounce down in the box. Fouled by Matt Clark. And that's a free kick to Leicester City, who are just about there now. And that whistle from the referee really has prompted a mass exodus of Derby fans all around the stadium.
But do you know what, though? They'll look and say, at least you've left it all out there. You fought. You shouldn't have been 3-0 down at half-time. You've got nothing to lose, and you've come out and you've fought, and you showed us something and given something to cheer.
It's been better from Derby, but not enough ultimately. 5.5 minutes of added time have now been played. Maybe another minute, 90 seconds or so to go at best. Derby go back to goalkeeper Zetterstrom. He'll fire it high upfield. Jumping is Nelson to head it away for Leicester. He's been excellent at the back for them. Hooked on by Louis Page, but it'll go back to the Derby goalkeeper once more. Morecambe 0, Boston 3 is a full-time score in the National League. Long go Derby once more, headed away, flicked on by Nelson towards the edge of the box. 3-1 down Derby here. So even if they do get one, it probably isn't going to be enough. Time is nearly up. 6 minutes of added time played. Header away by Luke Thomas. Derby still urgently getting the ball forward, but to no avail at the moment. It's bounced down towards Blackett-Taylor, who's controlled away on the far side, the left. He's played it backwards into the feet of Thompson. Thompson square. Ward is there for Derby. Forward is Vyman with an in-swinging left-footed cross. Flicked on by Jackson. In the area, comes back towards Jackson. And now the ball is going to be hit by Bobby Clark. Is it? No, he's gone down. Good tackle by Skipp. Out of play. Derby throw. Derby are relentless here.
Yeah, they keep pushing. Nelson did go up as a centre forward as well, hasn't he, Curtis Nelson, trying to cause carnage.
They need 2 more, and we've now had 7 added minutes. Jackson in the box with a left-footed shot, straight at Stalacic. And that will do it. And there are afters at the end. Stalacic and Vyman head-to-head as the final whistle blows. The referee, who's done an excellent job, I have to say, comes across to separate the two, but the game has been won by Leicester City, and East Midlands rivalry renewed, and Leicester have eased the pressure on Martí Cifuentes with a convincing victory ultimately at Pride Park. Stalacic and Vyman have been separated now, and all of that at the end is cleared up pretty quickly. But for Leicester, the damage most certainly inflicted on Derby in the first half. An outstanding first half display from Leicester City, reminiscent of the Leicester that we saw a couple of seasons ago, romp to promotion in the Championship. D. Cordova-Reid, Skipp and James scored the goals, all 3 very well taken. Derby, to their credit, battled back in the second half. Sondra Langas with a header into the net for them, but Derby couldn't find any further goals, and in the end it is Leicester who closed the gap on the playoff places. Leicester City win it by 3-1.
Joe, thank you very much. Yeah, getting heated at the end there, but it's certainly Leicester who are coming away from this one the happier of the two sides after picking up the crucial 3 points in this derby. But let's chat to Matt Murray then, part of our team at Pride Park. And, Joe summed it up perfectly there. The damage was all done in the first half by Leicester, going 3-0 up like they did. And in the end, it was a case of all huff but no puff in the end for Derby.
Yeah, they got the goal from the set piece, and you always felt if they got the next goal in the game, then it would test Leicester a little bit. I think Cifuentes maybe might have made his subs a little bit earlier, but all in all, they showed a bit of everything. The real quality in that first half, Leicester City to blow Derby away, could have had 4, 5 even. Then in the second half, they had to show that grit, that determination that we'd questioned. In the build-up, we had questioned that. But at times when they got back in, they showed intelligence. And they didn't really threaten the Derby goal in that second half, but the subs came on, they worked hard, but all in all, the Derby got into areas, but didn't, they had a few chances towards the end. If they'd have got the second, wow, that would have been interesting, but all in all, they'd left themselves too much of a mountain to climb.
Yeah, that was the problem, having gone 3-0 behind like they did at the break. And actually, if you look at the stats, the second half, they completely bossed it. Leicester didn't even have a single shot in that game, if you're looking at all the respective statistical websites and apps, for example. But Derby had 15 shots. They went for it. But Martí Cifuentes will definitely be happy. I know they conceded, but the fact that they were able to limit Derby to just that one goal, he'll definitely come away happier of the two. And this is a result, I imagine, Matt, that could be the kickstart to their season.
Oh, definitely. That's the thing. I think Cifuentes will look at it and say, look, you show that quality, but you also show that fight and that hard work. That's, when they lost the ball, Leicester, they sprinted back. They got into shape. They got into areas. Of course, this is a Derby team that is managed by John Eustace, so they were going to get an absolute rocket at half-time and told to come out and show these fans some commitment, some passion. And that's where Leicester had to stand up to it. So there was loads of times where they got the blocks in. You saw the little bit of needle there, at the end as well. So a few little, scraps and stuff. And they showed that. They took pride in getting the blocks in. There was the one time when Blackett-Taylor went down. I think it was Wyman's shot. It was either Vestergaard or Nelson. But Leicester got a brilliant block in. Stalacic was brave coming for crosses. So Skip got the goal, but he was good defensively. There's so many bits in and out of possession, confidence they can give. So yeah, exactly that, Natalie. This is the thing now. You have set your standard. You showed those fans a level. Can you build on it? Eustace, take the positives from the second half display, but ultimately you can't be out, leave yourself so much work to do. But Cifuentes needed that. He really did. His fans are buzzing. And can they build on it now into this Christmas period?
That is the thing. And they head to Bristol City on Wednesday for their next game, whereas Derby are at home to Millwall. But looking at the situation in the table, Leicester now move up to 10th, so they go above John Eustace's Derby. They're on 27 points, 2 points off the all-important playoff positions, albeit that a whole host of games are still to be played this weekend. Just from that one performance, do you see that Leicester can get themselves into the reckoning for promotion? Because as we said pre-match, there is a lot of Premier League quality in this team.
Yeah, exactly that. So I think they've got to look at it and go, right, why are we where we are? Because there have been times when you haven't worked hard enough. If you match the work rate and you show that quality, then there's no reason why you cannot minimum make the playoffs. And if you go into the playoffs and a team playing like this, look at Jordan James in front of us now. He's got the man of the match award. He showed some real quality, got a goal, made a goal. So you got to keep the people like him fit. Can they do a little bit in the January window? Who will they lose in the January window? Because there's players here that might be playing for a move. I don't know. There could be a little bit of confusion. So again, that's going to be something that Martí Cifuentes will have to navigate if there's players who are wanting to get out. But definitely, Pereira is excellent. There's players here. It'll be interesting to know what's happened with Winks. But there's players here in this team. They've got the quality that they can definitely put a run together. Automatic will be a push. I think Coventry will take the top spot. But that second spot, why not? But playoffs, they have to minimum finish in the playoffs, maybe get a few reinforcements in January, like I say, keep top players fit, and there's no reason why they can't be right in and around it at the end of the season for me.
I said they'd moved up to 10th. It's actually 11th now, that after Watford's win over Norwich. But a quick word on Derby then, because that second half performance, there are positives. You mentioned it already for John Eustace to go into what is an incredibly busy period of the season for everyone involved.
Yeah, well, seeing Nelson back on the pitch, he had an impact straight away, but he's going to help them defensively, but was also a real threat. I mean, his first header. Morris, big miss. Big miss. So he's still going to be out for a little bit. But he brought the subs on. Blackett Taylor, I really do like him, but I felt he needed to see more. Vyman was lively. I thought Liam Thompson was good, but I do feel that bench is a little bit bare. I do. So hopefully he can keep his players fit. There's loads of positives, but I still think it's been a very, very positive season for Derby. If you'd have said to John Eustace and to these Derby fans that are going to be in and around it coming into January, they'd have taken that. So, yeah, they've showed they can put runs together. Been a bit of a blip at the moment, but yeah, for me, it's just can he add a couple of quality ones in this January window?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Derby are 13th. They're on 26 points. We mentioned it before the game kicked off that last season they were involved in a relegation battle. So, my goodness, a lot has changed in a course of a few months. And they're only 3 points off the playoff positions, again, with games still to be played over this weekend. But there has been a massive improvement, clearly, under John Eustace at Derby.
He's done great. At Blackburn, he had a Blackburn team in and around the playoffs. Now he's come in here and he's really steadied the ship, and then he's shown that he can be. He changed the system in this game. He'd gone to a back five that he sort of come, which had served him well. But then in the game, he thought, how am I going to be brave? How am I going to go back into it? You even saw in the first half when the goalkeeper went down, he came and got them in, got into his players. Definitely a reaction at half time. So I think he's a very, very good manager. He knows a lot about this club. But ultimately, if you are looking at the budgets and what they've done, then it's hard. This is a Leicester team with Premier League players with big wages, and we talk about the stuff. So I think they're punching above their weight. Carlton Morris, to say, is a big miss, but he's got a clear identity of what he does. They look good from set pieces. So I thought, that it was Ward was excellent at fullback, really, really good at right back. But this is a decent Derby team, but I still think they're overachieving with what he's got and how far he's taken them from last season. But John Eustace, and I thought credit the fans today, Natalie. They were 3-0 down at half time. They came out in the second half and they got behind their team and they saw that endeavour and realised they lacked a bit of quality at times, but they definitely stuck with them.